Alright, tweeting it out. Alrighty. So today, me and ANCAP are going to go over the anime from anime season 2018. I have images prepared for each anime. I'll go over a little review and then I'll put up a separate image and we'll discuss what our thoughts are if you watch it, ANCAP. I don't even know if you watched half the shit I watched. I watched like 9 or 10 anime this season.
I watched a few. Most of them I dropped, but I can give you opinions about them, like why did I drop them, and the ones that I didn't, why they were awesome.
Hold on, talk again?
Oh, is it sounding bad?
Oh, for some reason my Discord sound just like went really low. I think stupid Firefox does that sometimes, like mutes your sound if you go to a certain tab. So now I think it should be okay. Now people should be able to hear you.
Okay, I'll try to repeat it. So I did watch a bunch of anime this season, but I dropped most of them because they were shit. So the ones that I dropped, I could explain why I did so, and the ones that I didn't, I can explain why they were awesome and totally worth your time.
You sound like you have good taste in anime, Sark. All right. Hold on, I'm getting chat up on my phone. There we go. All right. So the first anime I'm going to discuss now is Harukana Receive. So the volleyball one.
Yeah.
So it's a well animated, fan service heavy sports anime. It's all the characters are fucking thick. It's beach volleyball, so they're all just wearing fucking bikinis the whole time. And so you might seem like, well, this is just trash. But really, the sort of the drama in the show, the sports, the volleyball gameplay is realistic enough. The character drama is not melodramatic. It seems mildly realistic. Seems fine. The OST is pretty good. Animation remains pretty solid all throughout. They saved their budget well and use it when they want to, mainly on the thighs and shit. But that's where it's supposed to go. And I would recommend it to anybody who likes cute girls. If you like cute girls, watch this anime. 7 out of 10. Good time pass. Nothing amazing, but it does what it says on the tin, and it doesn't fuck up at any point. If that's what you wanted cute girls playing volleyball, then that's the one for you. All right, hold on.
And I think specifically if you want thick girls, I didn't like the art style too much in this one. They're a bit too fat looking. They're too American for my taste.
Too American for your taste? What are you, fucking Irish?
Aren't Irish people? Oh, is that they're supposed to like anorexic chicks? Is that right? Is that a stereotype?
No, God damn, Kev, you're so fucking behind the memes. The Irish people posted the someone had too much ass, as if that's possible.
Oh yeah, they're like the flat asses. Yeah, I get the memes mixed up. But yeah, they were too fat for me. I like the regular anime designs better, the skinny ones. But it's based on flavor. So if you like the designs, if you think the girls look good, you like this one as well. You get exactly what you get on the tin.
But did you finish it or no? You dropped it out of some autism?
I dropped it. Again, I dropped most of the shows.
What a fucking autist, the loser. Doesn't even finish anime.
Dude, I'm not gonna finish anime I don't like. Come on, man.
Yeah, you should like more things. Alright, let's move on from Harukana Receive. Does chat have anything to say about this? Anyone watching in chat? Probably not, because my chat's casual. Pleading, it's not like it's drama. I mean, there's character drama. Obviously, they'll have like conflicts and discussions and sort of like relationship drama. It's nothing. It's not like the other anime, what's called Hanidabo. That's completely melodramatic. The drama here is just like it's pretty realistic, makes sense, and it's not like overplayed. It's only like half an episode at most, and then they're done and they move on to the sports. But it's a good one. What anime you recommend for someone watching Naruto? Maybe we'll get to that. I wouldn't recommend this one unless you're itching for cute girls. Let's see. What's the next one on the list? I got Happy Sugar Life. That one's good.
I also dropped that one.
Oh,
but
more shit taste always. All right. Yeah. Okay, so Happy Sugar Life is it's based off an extremely edgy manga about a Yandir who kidnaps a lolly. And like all of the supporting characters in the show are also like insane psychopath people. And so it is kind of like campy and over the top and like edgy horror. But the manga itself isn't like it's not stellar or anything. It's just like an interesting sort of like horror concept. but the anime is done beautifully. It's so well directed. Like there's standout episodes in the anime that like I'll remember for a while just because of how well directed they are, and it's done by a new studio, Studio Ezola. It's their first anime they've done, and it's extremely well directed. Uh, the acting's great. The different style changes episode to episode and character to character is great. Although the people complain that all the characters are too like there's everyone's too crazy, it's a common complaint for the story. I think the sheer artistry of which like the shots and the composition and the music and the atmosphere that was done just by the animation team sort of raised it up. Besides the story being subpar, and so I would say it's like 8 out of 10, and I definitely would recommend it to anybody who likes animated mediums. It's one of the better ones this season. Well, let me change the image. What do you think of it before you dropped it?
Really, you liked it that much?
Yeah, I
I
actually
mean,
watch things and then review them.
nah. Again,
The
it's
dub,
very
no, dubs are for.
unrealistic.
Oh, of course it's unrealistic. That's I did say that. Like, yeah, people complain. It's like, oh, it's unrealistic, and everyone's a psychopath. People getting away with crimes, and it's all nonsensical and campy. But I think even despite that, there's some really standout episodes as the show goes on.
Maybe later on, I didn't get past episode 3 or so. And there's already a scenario where this guy gets raped by his boss, and then she gets away with it, but then she gets punished by the main character. I think I forget, did she murder her or she did something
Oh, well,
really
that's pretty
bad to her?
realistic, ANCAP. Of course, like
Yeah.
if your fucking boss woman that molests you, what are you gonna tell the police? They're just gonna laugh at you.
And then the boy becomes a lolicon afterwards because he becomes traumatized by women,
I mean,
and then later on he gets raped
you're
again.
right. That's a bit silly, but uh, but it's whatever. It's like over the top. Like everyone's crazy. Like this crazy person is attracting other crazy people to herself. But besides that, like despite it being like sort of horror campiness, it's just like each episode they really went overboard with the animation and the direction, and it's so well done. And it really stands out, and it wrapped up nicely in 13 episodes. The story finished. It's a definite ending. We're done.
Oh, that's what I hear. So the boards are saying that the ending was pretty kino. I didn't see it all the way to the end, but I guess that's one upside
Yeah.
to it.
And it's not like creepy where it's like, oh, okay, so the Yandir gets away with the lolly and and like lesbian pedophilia wins. It definitely has. It doesn't pull punches about all that stuff, and it definitely portrays it in the horrific manner it's supposed to the whole time. And that's where a lot of the good atmosphere and the horror of the show comes from. Is just the sort of the whole horror of the situation, and they play it off well, and they supplement it with good direction and music choice and like shot choice. I just think it's a really well done show. All right. So besides Happy Sugar Life, after that we have Overlord.
There's still one more episode left, but it's pretty much at the end. It's probably good
I
enough.
mean, I've
to
already read
review
the
now.
book, so
Yeah, me too. I'm a lore expert. I do know about the Overlords just as well
all
as
right.
you do.
All right. So the thing about Overlord is, it's Overlord season 3, so this is the third season of the continuation adapting the novels, and just like the last two seasons, the adaptation is extremely lazy. So they're just reading the novel and they're just putting it on screen as cheaply as possible. They just like recycle the same music. The acting's fine, but that's always true. Um, it's the same quality level as the previous two seasons, which is not very high. And despite like them using all this like really crappy CGI, like this PlayStation 1 era CGI, and having like really annoying slideshow tween animation for some shots, and this is especially true later in the season as it's winding down. It's not really Overlord, it's more like under budget. I would rate it about a 4 out of 10. Watch it if you just don't want to read, but just go read the novels instead, please.
Plebeian is asking if it's a shonen. Well, it's an isekai. It is a reincarnation story. I'm not sure if it would qualify as a shonen since it is pretty dark.
I would say it's a bit too dark it would be a bit too dark to be in Shonen Jump. So people in the chat who might like disagree with my prognosis, here's a screenshot. I think this is from season 2, but it's like the same quality of stuff that goes on. It's just like it's a really phoned in adaptation. Like everything about it's phoned in.
I will say
and
though,
doesn't
this
do
is
the
a great
justice.
yeah.
Oh shit!
It
I
is a
didn't
great
change.
improvement of yeah.
It's a great what?
It's a great improvement over season two at the very least. Season two was even worse than this.
Oh well, in what? In terms of like budget, or do you mean just like the
The
material,
content,
the content? Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's like
yeah.
that's more of a reflection of season two adapting the worst books. Like those books were just bad too. Was kind of the problem. Like they weren't good books. Uh, and now we're getting to the
Yeah.
stronger parts of the books, and it's just the writing strong enough to carry it, so you could watch it through and be entertained. But I get triggered by the low quality animations. Maybe some people don't. I do.
Yeah. Overall, there are some highlights. So the first episode of the third season was amazing. It really set my hopes up. The middle is okay. It's passable. The ending, it's almost Kino. It's almost good. But the low quality animation, the low budget, the extensive use of CGI really ruins it. It could have been way better than what we got. But
And that was true of all
overall,
three seasons. And this is just more of the same. So I hadn't had any
yeah.
high expectations for it.
Yeah, so still think it's worth watching, but it's not gonna be anything exceptional. And to get the full experience or a supplement to get what people are actually thinking about the current events in the story, you should probably read the novels as an addition to it.
All right. Besides that, we got let's see, we got Hug 2 Precure. I know ANCAP's power level is a bit too low to watch this one, so I'll just talk about it. It's the next season of Precure. Precure is the sort of the little girl magical girl anime that airs every season, with varying amounts of quality. It's literally made for small children, but they usually put some effort in to make it entertaining for parents too. You know, just like most art like this, like a Pixar film. And this one I would say is one of the higher quality Precure seasons. Like they have a variety of characters that aren't just the same caricatures. They have they have like this cyborg woman robot who like turns good, and then she has like a lesbian partner. Basically, like they're like really lovey dovey and shit, which is funny. And then and then there's like a bunch of other like well animated shit and aspects of it. But of course, since it's like a kids show, there's going to be dud episodes. There's going to be episodes where it's like really boring. Um, but if you're one of those people, one of those elder lords who watch Precure or watch magical girl shows, I would recommend it. Hug 2 is a pretty good season. Go watch it if your power level's high enough. Fix audio F. Oh shit. Why are you guys
It's
saying
fine.
F?
They're trolling you.
Oh, okay.
Like if you watch the video, I'm trying to watch it right now. There is audio. It is present. Uh,
My face when
but
they are talking to no one. I like that. All right. So yeah, so Hug
uh,
2 Precure. You probably haven't watched any Precure.
no, I watched one episode of this one, but it was the cameo episode where they showed the first season girls going in there, and I thought, oh, would they do something interesting? Would be original? But it was more fan service more than anything.
Well, that's
So
always how they have whole movies of just fan service cameo interactions, like a Power Rangers crossover film. Basically, they always every year they have a Precure crossover film, which if you're really into it, and then you can nerd out with that. But I just like this
no,
season because I think the characters are interesting in the direction they went with. It was a bit different than most Precures on screen, or the two characters they sort of added later that sort of stolen the show, the gay robot and her friend. Um, but I think it's just one of the more comedic and well animated ones. It has interesting character drama as well that's going on, and it's slow though because it's obviously a kid show and it's episodic. It's like 50 fucking episodes or something.
yeah, I actually did watch Pretty Cure, and I think the only season I really liked a lot would be Hard Catch.
Hard Catch
Like
is
first
pretty good.
season, yeah, Hard Catch was the best one by far, and it is a bit of a plebeian advice. There are people who say, "Oh, Hard Catch was the only good season." The
Hard
whole
casuals.
for casuals. But no, I do believe in that. And personally, I think if you only want to watch one Precure season, it should be Hard Catch.
Yeah,
If
if
you're
you're if
really
you're
in love,
plebeian, Hard Catch is probably your best bet for you. If you're more enlightened Yuri, then there's better seasons like Sweet and Maho and Hug 2. As far as what my favorite character from Hug 2 is, someone asked in chat. Uh, I guess Hana is pretty good. I like Hana's character because she's like the Genki normal pink character, but she's also like was secretly a beta loser back in the day and always struggles with that and has doubts all the time. So I like that they're going for that angle. It's different. I think Hana's the best character.
We got Laplace asking, which is better, Smile or Hard Catch? Well, of course, Hard Catch. Smile was just the Moe season. It didn't have very much appeal to it. I watched a little bit of it because it was one of the later ones after Hard Catch, and I really wish it become good again, but it never reaches that height. So I would not recommend Smile unless you, again, you really like little girl
I think
shows.
GoPre's pretty good.
Yeah,
I also recommend GoPre.
yeah. If
All
you
right.
really like little girl shows and some magical girl stuff, then yeah, you should probably watch more seasons. But otherwise, I would just stick with Hard Catch only.
All right. So then I'm going to Hataraku Saibo. Hold up. All right, there we go. So Hataraku Saibo, Cells at Work. This one's been kind of memed heavily. You've probably heard of it in chat. Just basically, it's Osmosis Jones, the anime. It's edutainment. The characters go throughout their show. Oh yeah, I didn't give a score to Precure because it's not done yet, so I don't know how good it actually is. It's like halfway through, so I'll give a score when it finishes eventually. For Saibo though, it's another edutainment show. So they have episodic structure where it's like half slice of life comedy where they tell you a little bit about like the body and the cells, and then they have like an action part of it where like some sort of microbe invades and then gets like dealt with by the immune system. They teach you about like the microbes in the immune system and different bodily functions and organs and stuff. And it's just like sort of anthropomorphized edutainment. And it can get there's some boring episodes. There's some episodes I skimmed through, like the episode with like the immune cells training. I didn't really care for. Uh, but I think overall, despite some dud episodes, like the animation quality is like really high throughout, and it's like just it's interesting if you don't know much about like biology. It's like interesting learning like some of this stuff and then seeing it animated and like some of the, like the human situations are pretty humorous. Like the when you get a blood transfusion, a bunch of new characters just get like literally injected into the world and stuff. Or if you're dehydrated, they just inject more water into you if you like collapse from like heat stroke or something. And they like show up in the world of the anime, which is interesting. It's basically Osmosis Jones the anime. I rated about a what did I say? What did I say here? 6 out of 10. It's a good time pass, but it's ultimately episodic and edutainment, so it doesn't really. It's not like stellar or anything. It's good. It's just not stellar. What do you think of it
Yeah,
if you watch any of it?
yeah, I did watch some episodes, only about 3 of them. And I was surprised it was a lot more education focused than I thought it would be. You're right, it is basically edutainment, except done in the style of generic shonen action anime. It's very surreal. It's hard to believe this is a thing that exists, but the one I watched probably most closely was the cancer episode, where
The
they
cancer
show off.
episode is pretty
Yeah,
good.
it got people really riled up because it had the moral. Because it says, "Oh, if you do fight a cancer, it must be
Cancer
eradicated at
isn't
all
that bad.
costs."
Cancer didn't do nothing, or at least deserves to exist, or something. And people got triggered
Yeah,
at that. Yeah, I saw that.
because the lesson of that episode was that cancer did nothing wrong, but it must still be eliminated and eradicated from this world because it is an unholy abomination that will destroy us all. Like, dude, what kind of lesson is that? Because it's just like real life. It's a very weird show because yeah, it's like an educational kids show in America, except done exactly like anime with all the blood, violence, and all that. The
Yeah, all the
cliche, the moe
shonen shit.
girls.
Yeah, it's animated by the
Yeah.
same people who do JoJo, so they do all like the action really well. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very unique. So maybe it's worth watching a little bit of it to see if it's your thing. But overall, I didn't enjoy it that much.
Yeah, I watched all through of it just because it was something to watch on the day it came out, and there's only like 1 or 2 episodes I skimmed through. I watched most of it. It's pretty good. And yeah, Powerhouse. What is the Powerhouse cell? I don't remember. Uh,
Mitochondria.
Mitochondria. Have you ever realized that Drix looks almost like a red pill? Coincidence? Cancer is just a placeholder for gamers and oppression we face. Yeah, I thought they were going for like a communist angle when I like skimmed the manga a bit. And when they were doing the cancer, they had like little cancer pamphlets they were handing out and shit like that. And they're trying it's like underground cancer spread, trying to destroy society like the Japanese communists. And I found that pretty funny. All right, so besides that, let's see. Back after Hanaraku Saibo, we have Shoujo Kigeki Reve Starlight. All right.
Oh, this was the Utina
New
ripoff,
Tenna,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Shoujo Kigeki Reveille Starlight. It's a new original multimedia project. It has a tie-in sort of musical theater program. So the voice actresses are like running a play in Tokyo while this is airing. That's like sort of also tied into the show itself, which is about plays and drama school and stuff. And so it's like all these people going to a drama school, and then kind of like Utena, they have these sort of metaphysical sword battles, try and win a competition to become the sort of the lead role, the top star. And it's very much like Utena, except it's much more focused on musical stage play than it is, and like the sort of the the industry of musical stage play and being an actor more than it is, say, like just growing up or high school or anything like that. So it's sort of like a more focused version of Utena, and I would say it's a more of a spiritual successor to Utena than Yuri Kuma is. Um, there's obviously heavy Yuri overtones, and there's like a focus on the character relationships. Tons of little Yuri couples, if that's your thing. I felt the story kind of dragged a bit between all the characters, so ultimately, like the main couple on screen here, I think that's Karen and Hikari. I didn't really care for I didn't care for them as much as I should have, um, compared to the other characters. So it fell flat on that aspect. But I would say it's still like, just because it's an original, it had like interesting shots and like a whole interesting concept, and it was a lot like Utena. I think it lived up to that standard. I would recommend it as a 8 out of 10. Pretty well produced. Go watch it. But it doesn't reach like some sort of masterpiece level. And there's sort of a giraffe character who watches over the battles the girls have. And like the giraffe, I was sort of unsatisfied. I didn't. I was looking for something more, some sort of original stage play, and this played it too safe. I think it played things a bit too safe, and I was ultimately a little bit disappointed in it, but I still think it's good. I still think I would recommend it to people. 8 out of 10. All right. Did you watch much of this or no?
No, I skipped this one.
Skipped it entirely? Anyone in chat watch it? Or anyone who wants to jump in from Discord, I'll open a slot up in case people want to chime in. Hold up.
Yeah, it looks exactly like Utena. It's uncanny.
Yeah, it's quite a lot like Utena, but it's more focused. It's less sort of over the top, and like edgy, and sort of it's less emo than Utena, and it's more sort of like a stage. It's sort of like the drama that comes from a drama club, rather than like the drama of growing up and like being like psychotic in Utena. So it's like it's sort of like cleaned up Utena. I just ultimately think like the conclusion of the story and then like what they went for, I didn't find it satisfying. It kind of happens with a lot of Japanese media.
Type the name.
Type the name or I'll do it.
I don't know what it is. So yeah.
Was it Kino though? Yeah, it was pretty Kino. I would say it's pretty Kino. All right. Besides Shoujo Kigeki, let's see what else we got on the list here. All right, Asobi Asobase. Okay, so Asobi Asobase is a comedy gag manga. Relies on surreal gags combined with high school situation humor. I would say it's pretty well executed. The anime, that is, pretty well directed and acted, and they play into the over the top aspects, and it's like a good mixture. It's not like overly surreal like Nichijou, and it does mix in a good amount of like actual like grounded school humor, and it doesn't pretend to be super cutesy. It like sort of embraces the crassness of its humor, and I think this sort of elevates it too in terms of the humor.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the better shows this season because it executes its function pretty well. It is a slice of life moe comedy thing with 3 middle school girls talking about shit and making jokes.
Yeah,
and it's pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I rated it a 7 out of 10. I would say it's a decent comedy anime. If you're any fan of like Nichijou or Daily Lives of High School Boys, this one's as good as those and would slot right into that. So I would definitely recommend it in that regard. Um, let's see. So like what episodes did you like? Well, who was your favorite character from Asobi Asobase and Cat?
I guess the blonde one, since she was a bit
Olivia.
more unique. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
the other
did quite
two.
like Olivia as well because it was sort of she was sort of the Gaijin, but was actually just being raised in Japan, and then was trying to troll, pretending like she was a foreign student and didn't speak Japanese. It backfired and stuff. Um, but yeah, I think that's like a underdone. I've never seen that in an anime before. I can't recall another time where there was like a character who was a foreigner but was being raised in Japan completely, and so it was like a naturalized foreigner. Do you recall anything like that? I can't really.
There's something I have seen characters who are like blonde, blue-haired. Sorry, yeah, it's the other way around. Blonde, blue-eyed anime girls who
Blue
don't have
haired, blonde
yeah,
eyed. Yeah, I get it.
blue hair, blonde eyes, but they look foreign, but they don't actually speak any English. That I have seen that before. But specifically being raised in Japan, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's like one
I've
of the
heard,
more realistic Gaijin characters I've seen, and I
yeah,
found that aspect entertaining. Some of the gags fell flat, but that's true of like all comedy anime, so I can't blame it too much. All right, then after that one, we got Chio-chan no Sugarako, or Chio-chan. What is it? Chio-chan School Road. I assume you watched this one too.
yeah. I finished this one,
Okay.
so I can't comment
Well, it
on
was
it.
only like 11 episodes or something, if I recall, right?
Let's see. I think it was 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And also sequel never,
Sequel never
because the
yet.
manga. Yeah,
So
because the manga is ending.
yeah, so it was an adaptation of another gag comedy manga. So like, it's kind of like this. It's in the same vein as Asabi Asabase, but it's different in that it's situational humor of the main character who's like a Westaboo who plays lots of Western video games and is like a huge nerd and starts like reenacting them as she goes to school. And then there's a bunch of other side characters who are also like really stupid and crazy that cause a lot of situational humor. I think a lot of some of the I think the adaptation of the anime was
And
like
Cap.
oh, somebody came in. Who came in?
I don't know. He left immediately.
Nice. All right. I think the anime adaptation, it was kind of blasé. It was boring. It was by the numbers. It was just basically a panel for panel adaptation of the manga. They didn't really elevate itself in any way. The voice actresses I felt were kind of off at first, but they grew into the roles as the season went on. I would say it's a 6 out of 10 adaptation. The manga is really good. Like the paneling and the humor in the manga really drives home, but I think the adaptation is like whatever. So if you're not averse to reading, just go read the manga for Chio-chan.
Yeah, and I thought the show itself, it's probably still worth watching by itself.
Yeah,
It's a fairly solid comedy. It's pretty unique in its concepts because it's a girl who's obsessed with video games, and like you mentioned, she imagines video games in real life. And most every episode is made out of jokes about that subject. And they can be pretty interesting jokes. Like she loves the Western games, she hates Japanese ones, lots of like gamer references. I think there's at least one episode which V would love. I forget the references they had in there. But yeah, I feel like video game humor, like us gamers, man, us gamers in real life, it is
it is
relatable
really
if you
us
play.
gamers
Yeah,
rise up humor, but and like in a Western show, it'd be kind of cringy. It'd be like Big Bang Theory level, but it's kind of kawaii when it's done by the Japanese. Uh, but
yeah,
would
it
still
has a
recommend
unique
it.
quirk. Yeah, it has a unique quirk to it.
It
And
does.
the manga gets pretty interesting since it actually like pushes romance on there. And it kind of teases it in the anime too. I like how it's a bit more blunt about it. Like the main character, main girl, actually has like a male love interest, and it's pretty
Yeah, well,
obvious.
the person who drew the manga used to be a porn artist, so
Yeah, and you could tell the preferences for the love interest
it's
as well.
okay when
It's
Japan does it. It's true because they put their own spin on it, Crooked Tuna. You can tell.
yeah, Japan does it better.
Wow, what a weeaboo, Antcat. What a weeb. All right. Besides Chio-chan, there's a lot of comedies I watched this season. There's another one, Middle Manager Tonagawa, or what's it, the Japanese name? Chukan Keniroku Tonegawa. So this is an adaptation of the Kaiji spin-off manga where the sort of the evil middle manager that rules over the mafia guys. He's in like a comedy anime, so he has a lot of comedic problems hanging out with his like staff and like solving the problems, trying to appease the leader of the mafia. And they do sort of a satire of corporate culture, and they go over a lot of jokes that like make fun of like corporate culture and corporate behavior. And it has like the same stuff from Kaiji where like the characters will be doing something and then there'll be like an inner monologue narrated, like over narrated, like crazy dramatic narration, and then like they'll show the characters doing some like weird activity in like an allegorical way. So if you like that sort of like comedy aspect of Kaiji, this is more of that. And I think the sort of like making fun of corporate humor was pretty refreshing. So I like that. Have you watched any of this?
I watched about 3 episodes. It starts off really, really weak. It gets a little bit better, but I still didn't enjoy it very much.
I think it gets
Like,
better past 3 episodes, but
yeah, it did get a little bit better, but it still didn't catch my interest well enough. And really, to get the full impact out of it, you have to have watched Kaiji, since it makes fun of that style, that character design, and atmosphere, and says, well, what if we took Kaiji, which is a very serious gambling drama thing, and implemented it like as a comedy, using the same imagery and all that, about this really overworked corporate worker who tries to satisfy his boss, and then wacky, unexpected things happen, but not that wacky. Like, it's more surreal than wacky. I don't know. I didn't find it very entertaining or funny. It tried to be, yeah. I don't know. I can't
I don't know.
recommend it
I
honestly.
found the some of the later bit episodes more pretty funny with like the PowerPoint one, and then and the one about like they couldn't find a solution to do the card tables for the rock paper scissors, and so they just put like the workers inside them, and then like the pyramid scheme. I just felt like they covered a lot of things and made fun of them in a good way. I don't know. And
Yeah, but like I think that was the first episode where the
the
entire
first
joke
episode is
was
really
that,
weak. I would agree. But
yeah.
you gotta like can your autism and just keep watching. I think I would rate it about a 7 out of 10. It's only halfway done. Also, it's only been 12 episodes in, another 12 to go, 24 episodes. So I can't like tell you overall what the actual airing season would be. But it's like so far out of 12, 7 out of 10. I would recommend it for any fans of Kaiji or anyone who like has worked in corporate and wants to see like a some sort of comedy making fun of like corporate culture and behavior. Did I go back a slide? Sure.
And they're asking if this is a My Evil Corporation, the anime.
Not
Well,
really,
no, it
no.
makes fun. Yeah, it makes fun of corporate culture, not so much corporations
It's not
themselves.
like saying, "Oh yeah, smash the state. Corporations are evil." But it's more like saying that wow, like your boss will make you do wacky shit, and you gotta like appease all these stupid style. Like there's like codes of style, and if you like go over your boss's head, he'll be like upset and like cucked, and there's stuff like that. Like interviews are impossible, and there's just a good amount of like funny stuff about corporate life. I quite liked it.
All right,
Yeah.
and what is the next one?
All right, what's the one after that? We got like another comedy, Jashin Chan Dropkick.
Oh, was that the one with the devil?
Yeah, shrink this down a little bit.
Do you want me to give my impression first, or do you want
No,
to summarize?
let me just read my impression, then we'll
Sure. Yeah.
guess after. So the um, adaptation, another gag comedy manga. So it's based around the girl there with the eye patch on the manga cover, and she summons some demons to do her bidding, and they're all these like sort of comedic demon characters. And but instead of like making them do like evil things, she basically just has them help around her house. And then one of the demons, the snake girl, Jashin Chan, hates the person who summoned her and wants to kill her so she can go back to hell. That's sort of like the crux of the comedy in the show. And so Jashin Chan will like attack Urine, the girl who summoned her, and because Jashin Chan can regenerate, the Urine will just like attack her with like fucking chainsaws and shit, and like the Guro will be played off for laughs. It's just like over the top. It's like Dokuru Chan, that one anime of like the angel. where like the violence is just played off for laughs, like hyper violence, and it really's got this early 2000s feel to the animation style and to the humor, and I felt it was really nostalgic. So I felt like I was watching something like Lucky Star, but in the current year. So I quite like that aspect of it. It felt like an older sort of style of things. And for any people, I would recommend it as anyone who liked comedy shows. Definitely a 7 out of 10. A fun cast of different like archetypes, and they don't water them down. The archetypes are always like staying true to their gag role in the gag manga, and that's always good. Yeah, this is the one that was only 11 episodes. They cut it short by an episode, which is like feels bad, but whatever. It was good. I quite liked it. Would recommend it. Type the show name. Like, God damn it! I guess I'll put all the shows in the description afterwards for all you plebes who aren't
Well,
like.
it's called Dropkick. You guys can see
Yeah,
this
Jashin
poster
Chan
right there.
Dropkick. All right, so what did you think of it, Ancap?
To me, it felt like this show was made by a person who's both schizophrenic and has ADD.
Really? Why?
Like, I only watched the first 2 episodes because
Okay, so your opinion doesn't matter. All right, I got it.
No, because just lots of random shit happens on screen. Everybody yells and acts super duper wacky. Oh, there's violence and stuff, and it just feels like you're correct when you said it's mentioned. It feels very nostalgic. It's very old. It reminds me of these really old, shitty comedy shows which used to like pollute the airwaves a while back, which nobody watched. Because it's just
Sounds
lots
like
of really
a terminal case of shit taste.
Yeah, you might say so. There's different
There's
tastes.
some sort of weird squeaky going on in your background.
Yeah, there's a whistle going on in my background.
Oh no. All right.
No.
The whistle's kind of
Is it
annoying.
still going?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can stop it.
You must end the whistling. The show moves too fast for Ancap unless he can't follow. But I thought he wanted fast things, child. That's why he can't read. I don't know. Hard to say. Move to the next show. Why do you not like Jashin Chan Dropkick, Dwarf? Too bad we have no people who actually watch anime in our fucking community besides myself. Fucking feels bad. Nobody wants to like, oh, what's that whistling? It keeps going. Alright, let's see, what else did I have? I think one more anime. I had Yamano Susume. Alright. Yeah, Yamano Susume. You don't like Ancap talking about it? Ah, I see. Alright, so Yamano Susume is mountain climbing lollies. It's the mountain climbing show. It's basically a tourist advertisement for Aichi in Japan. It's just like a nice, cute girl slice of life show where they climb mountains and engage in buying all the mountaineering gear and like hang out and climb mountains. And it's been that way for the first 2 seasons. They were just kind of that, just climbing mountains and dealing with mountains. And the 3rd season is kind of a departure from that. It's a lot more of a focus on the character drama between the main 2 characters, Hinata and Aoi. Aoi? Why can't I say it correctly? I think I'm saying it right. Aoi? I don't know. Those 2 characters on the screen there, the front 2. It sort of focuses on their relationship and like sort of a drama misunderstanding between them. And I think it was a good departure from the previous 2 seasons. And I was surprised by like the sort of the seriousness with which they treated the character drama. And it has like lots of little light eerie undertones, and the animation and voice acting is solid as it has been through the 3 seasons. So I rate this about an 8 out of 10. Very good as far as a cute girl show goes, and they broke new ground, as some would say, by adding a little bit of drama that you wouldn't expect in a cute girl show. And I would recommend all 3 seasons to anybody who likes cute girl shows. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I do agree with that consensus, that summary. Is that for cute girls doing cute things, climbing mountains and stuff, it is very well done. It's probably the best in the past several years. If you want a cute girls show that's very moe, that's probably your top pick.
Nice.
I just don't like moe, so I didn't watch very much of it.
Wait, what did you? Oh, you didn't even finish it, really?
No, again, I told you I don't like moe shit.
I don't know. What a jeez, dude. What a fucking faggot. All right. Let me see if I can. I guess I don't have a drum roll effect on hand. I guess I'll just drum roll on my desk. So my anime of the season for 2018 summer is Happy Sugar Life. Yeah. All right. So I think Happy Sugar Life was. I think you probably could have told it from my review, but Happy Sugar Life is, I think, the most well done anime this season. And even though the story's like campy, doesn't make much sense. It's like goofy all over the place. I think just the overall artistry of the direction and like the atmosphere and the acting and like individual episodes will stand out above anything else that aired this season. So I mean, there were a lot of good comedies this season, but I think Happy Sugar Life really took the cake when it came to it was like I thought it was like a well done horror anime, which is like something you never see. Like most horror anime just kind of fall flat, and this one I think, despite being campy, really did it well.
All right. I could also go through the shows that I watched and dropped if you want.
I mean, I don't have images prepared for them, so but I mean, yeah, we can do that.
Okay, sure. So before the season started, I think we talked about Persona 5, the animation. I watched some of it. I think I got even like 13 episodes in before I had to drop it. It's actually a complete travesty.
What show?
And no, Persona 5, the anime
no
adaptation.
shit, yeah.
No, but it's substantially worse than Persona 4 somehow. Like
Well, put
Persona
like some
5,
text on screen just to describe what you're talking.
Yeah, sure. So there's literally no reason for anybody in the entire world to watch the Persona 5 anime. Everything it does is done far better than in the game. Like the visuals actually look worse. Like the directing, the animation quality, the character designs, the image quality, everything is worse than the actual video game. The only reason you might ever watch this show is if you literally don't have a PS3, you don't have a PlayStation 4, and you want to play it so badly, but you cannot, but you still want to know how the story would be like. And you're also too lazy and don't want to watch a playthrough on YouTube. You want to do it in like 26 episodes, like how many hours? Like 12 hours? If you just want to watch it in like 12 hours instead of like 90 hours. So it's absolute shit, and I have no idea why it was made. Oh, there's one good thing, is that it gave fan service to the best girl, Kawakami, the teacher. There's one episode where they give her fan service, and this is everything anybody ever remembers about it. So watch that one episode to get the best teacher fan service, and otherwise,
it's shit
yeah.
And don't watch it. So who cares? All right.
Yes.
Dwarf is literally triggered and leaving. Damn, feels bad. See ya, Dwarf.
Well, yeah, you covered all the ones you wanted to, right?
I covered all the ones I watched this season in full. I don't bother reviewing it if I haven't watched it in full.
Oh, that's so lame though. You can still give your impressions and say like why you dropped it.
I mean,
for example, what about High Score Girl? Remember the one?
I watched 0 episodes of that. It looked entirely uninteresting.
Okay, I watched like 6 episodes of it. So in summary, so the setting is basically a little boy set in I think 80s or 90s Japan, goes to an arcade and he really loves arcade games. And there he meets a mysterious mute girl who's really good at arcade fighters. And it's kind of like a romance where they sometimes play these games and have trivia. So as a romance, it's actually decent. The problem is that the main gimmick of the entire show, where they discuss and talk about these video games, these obscure arcade games, is boring as balls and actually hurts the show as a whole. So this show, if you like skip all the stupid, obscure 90s gaming trivia and go to the romantic parts, it's watchable. But otherwise, it's just a giant waste of time.
It seemed like just a goofy nostalgia thing for like boomers.
Yeah, basically, if you look at like Street Fighter 2 arcade and you think, oh man, those were the times, man. Remember Street Fighter 2? Yep. Did you know there's this trick in Street Fighter 2?
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. So that's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's basically that kind of nostalgia-based thing with some cute romance.
Okay.
And whatever, the only thing people talk about it is the cute girls and how cute it is, which girl will win and all that. Well, as usual, really, for these kind of shows.
Yeah.
So overall, not worth it, even though it has some good parts to it.
Okay. Anything else you watched?
Oh, I watched some of Steins Gate Zero.
Steins
So
Gate
the
Zero. I mean, I
yes,
did play the game Steins Gate, but I don't know why I just didn't bother watching the anime and new thing. There's like a game for Steins Gate Zero as well, right?
yeah, it's a prequel game to the original Steins Gate. It's basically like a dark and edgy version of the original. It tells a story the main character like gave up on going back in time and embraced his inner edge lord. And he's all dark and broody, and you can tell it's very dark because the main dude now wears a black lab coat. Like no,
Oh,
literally, yeah. If you look at the image, like the first one you can see
yeah, I've
is just
seen
the
that.
main dude.
I've seen pictures of him wearing the black lab coat. I'm like, oh, I thought that took place in the future. You're just saying it is sort of like an alternative prequel thing.
Yeah, because the original Stan's Gate is based all upon timelines, and basically this is a timeline where the main character gave up and decided, you know what, I can't save the girl. I'm just gonna stay in this, really depressed world and try to get by, go to college, and become more of a normie. Uh, this is actually really a big tie back to the original series, since well, it's plot stuff. It doesn't matter. But let's go for impressions. Overall, it's worse than the original. Like, and you should only watch this one if you really like the original Steins Gate and you want more content.
I don't know. I like. I just felt sort of lukewarm when I read the Steins Gate novel. People hyped it up way too much, and I played it, and I'm just like, whatever. Like I like the characters, but people were like waifu tagging Kurisu into like oblivion, and then when she was just like whatever mildly cool character, I just didn't like care too much about like the story or trying to solve the problems and stuff. I don't know. I didn't really click for me. The characters in that game just didn't seem as engaging. It's kind of the same for Danganronpa. When I read Danganronpa, I find it hard to relate to all these characters. But the sort of both these shows, Danganronpa and games, I guess Danganronpa and Steins Gate, they have these huge followings, and like the characters seem really beloved. But I don't know. I don't connect to them. It's like something in the writing that's just making me have a disconnect.
Steins Gate overall is greatly overrated. Basically, if you are a normie or a casual anime watcher and you watch Steins Gate for the first time, you'll think it's the best anime ever made. That's why it has such a crazy mouse score. And yeah, and this one is just a worse version of the original. A little bit more dark, but overall it's pretty similar. It's not that different. So
Sure.
if you really like the original Steins Gate and just want more of that, then you'll like this. And that's about all there is to it.
Okay. Anything else you watched?
Yes, Bucky. No, Bucky 2018. Actually watched
Bucky.
all the episodes.
Shit,
Yes.
really? Isn't that like a lot of episodes?
This new one is shorter. Actually, no,
Oh,
it's gonna
okay.
be. I think it's gonna be 26 episodes.
So it's
I'm
only
not sure.
half over, or no?
I think so. Yeah, because it's currently on episode 13 and it's nowhere near the end. So I
Oh,
believe
so
it's
what's
gonna
that
be
one
26
about? What's that
episodes.
about?
So this is an adaptation of a pretty old manga called Grappler Bucky. It's known for having a very quote unquote unique art style. Like every single person looks like a hulking monstrosity and a deformation and a crime against humanity.
Yeah.
It's very, very ugly. But if you read enough of the manga, you realize it's an eccentricity. The artist, he's actually very good at anatomy and uses purposeful exaggeration to convey emotions and show you these guys are just fucking monsters. This season, basically, this new anime is an adaptation of the best arc in the manga, where Bucky, the main character, who is a young grappler, and his group of friends must fight against several death row convicts. And this is an unbarred street fights. You go out in the street, and at any time you might be jumped by them. Might be like 3 versus 1, 1 versus 1, all of them against you, and you have to pick up and fight with what you have using any means. Fight to the death or not. It's your choice. It's very violent. It's like very crass too. The author has an obsession with piss and peeing over people. Like every character, yeah,
All right.
yeah. It's very, very, very eccentric, very violent, and
It
very
sounds
like
like JoJo.
detailed. Yeah, it's a bit like JoJo. You're correct. It's a very eccentric in the same way JoJo is. But this one is purely around the physical, contact sports. It's only punching. Everybody has superpowers, but all comes from punching very, very hard. So I do quite enjoy it. I quite like the
Why?
series, and
Why do you enjoy it though? All you described to me is like muscly men pissing over each other and punching each other. Is that something good?
it is very good at building up tension. because these guys are very freaky monstrosities, and they can do some pretty terrible things, and you actually wonder whether they can win. This arc especially, it's pretty dark. Like people get killed all over the place. They do horrific feats against each other and they seek revenge. It's very high tension. Yeah, it's a very high tension series, and you feel the stakes are always high. I quite like all the entire franchise, and this anime adaptation, technically, it's I guess the third season of an anime, because there is one, like I think in the '90s. Yeah, you got to one season in the '90s.
Is it a remake or is it just continuing like the manga?
It's a sequel. It's a sequel. Yeah, it's a sequel to the '90s anime. So if you really want to see the whole story, you can also watch that one. Although this one's a lot better because it is modern.
Sure. Anything
the guy
else
just
you
wants
watched?
to. Let me see. Trying to go through the list to remind myself.
I just wants to make guys with muscular bodies and piss and blood fetish and have to make a story any excuse to take the story in the backseat. That makes sense, Joe. That's kind of the same for JoJo.
Again, I dropped it, but there is the Suno Horohasu no Karin-san, the fetish show, the mommy fetish.
Oh, the straight Shota show? You dropped it?
Yeah.
I mean, who cares if you dropped it? If you didn't finish it, who cares about your opinion?
Well, you can still make an accurate judgment. For this show, you know if you like it if you watch the first episode. Basically, do you have a mommy fetish? Do you want to see a little kid, mothered and being surrounded by, big busty girls in bikinis who dote over him like a kid? And if you like that, this is it. This is just a plain old ecchi show. It's only fan service. There is no other substance. If you want to see this little boy in awkward situations, kind of sexy situations with older women, this is it. This entire show, like all 12 episodes, is literally just fan service of that type. Very shallow, has no content.
It seems like literal trash, so I didn't bother with it.
How is that any different from other moe fan service shows? I mean, if you like mommy...
I don't watch anything for fan service, Sankab. I did watch Hurricane Receive, but not for the fan service.
What did you watch it for, then?
The Yuri.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be kind of the same thing, because in your case, it's like Yuri fan service.
Well, I mean, true. But I mean, it's not really from like a, oh man, I want to watch these like hot girls make out and shit. No, it's sort of like a, I don't know, romance kind of way.
Some more shows I dropped. There is the Satsuki no Tenshi, the video game adaptation about the middle school girl who was like surrounded by these serial killers in an underground chamber.
Oh, the one, the RPG Maker thing?
Yeah, the RPG Maker adaptation.
Yeah, I don't. What was the title again?
It's called Satsuriku no Tenshi. Something Angel. Here, I can try copy pasting it.
I'm probably gonna misspell it and embarrass myself.
Okay. Satsuriku.
I was a little
almost.
off.
Yeah, almost there. This one was very weird because you can tell it's an adaptation of a video game. It's not structured like an actual TV show. How it works is that
Did
this
you finish
girl...
it or no?
No, dude. I'm talking about shows I dropped.
What are we doing here then?
I can tell you why I dropped it.
Okay.
And this one is very surreal because in this show is just this girl is walking like into a floor with lots of things in it, like graves. And then the guy is there. And then she and the guy solves puzzles and shit until they can move on to the next floor and meet some more characters.
So literally
and
just
really
like the RPG Maker game, but an anime.
It's literally just the RPG Maker game. You go from floor to floor. You finish tasks, but in anime form. It doesn't work at all. And I think the only reason why this has a fan base is because the character designs and the shipping. I'm pretty sure everybody just ships the main girl and the psychopath killer dude. So, yeah, if you're Fujo, yeah. And it's pretty popular from what I've seen, too. I think it's a case where, just character designs and setting and visuals sell a show alone. Because structure-wise, it has none. It's very odd to actually watch something like this. It's not a traditional anime in any sense.
Is it Undertale, the anime?
Kind of, but Undertale actually has more depth. This one...
I knew you would say that, so that's why I asked that question. All right.
It's edgier, too. Because the main girl is all about, I want to die.
So now we have a good quote on stream. Undertale has more depth.
Yeah, Undertale does have more depth.
All right.
But okay, let's go about one actually finished kind of like Isekai
Kind
Mao.
of. Oh, you white? What? ANCAP, you watch like the trashiest garbage.
Yeah, but this one, yeah, so Isekai Mao, the how do you call it, the demon lord
How to
reincarnated in
not summon a
something.
demon lord.
Yeah, how to not summon a
It
demon
is
lord.
literally the epitome of harem trash for like subhuman brown people.
Yeah, correct, but it is kind of fun because it doesn't take itself very seriously. It's like an overlord, except with way more fan service and kind of shittier, and but also more comedic. It's much more comedy focused. Honestly, I think the fan service distracts a lot from it. And one big flaw is that it doesn't really have a narrative structure. Like there's no conflict. It's just it's like a neat. It's much more neat focused because it's just a guy who is of course unemployed, has no worth, goes into a fantasy
I mean,
world.
it's just fucking the same isekai wish fulfillment thing that's been done a million times now.
Yeah, he goes there, but the thing is, he pretends to be an evil overlord, and he has no social skills at all. So the gimmick for this one is that he pretends to be like an evil overlord because he literally cannot talk to people. So he accidentally comes off as this really edgy evil guy to everybody else because he doesn't know what else to do. And this is why it's comedy, bro. And it can be entertaining, but overall, the main flaws, it can
It's
be. It
it's
is.
harem
Yeah.
trash, ANCAP.
Yeah, dude, lots of things are trash. And in this case, yeah, it is kind of harem trash. And near the end, I think the fan service goes too far, so that's why I dropped it near the final episodes. It just makes you kind of uncomfortable. Like you actually feel like a bad person near the end.
I think you
So
should probably feel like a bad person watching the second episode where he's like fucking slave girls.
it's not bad until the end where it actually
It's
starts
slaves. Slaves they fit in my ANCAP society.
Nah, actually, the thing is, lots of isekai light novels have the slave thing.
I know, and they're
And
all garbage. I don't know. Like, what do you want? Like, like it's been done before, so it's okay.
I think it only gets bad near the end where he starts actually fingering the girls on camera. That's a bit too
What do you
much for
mean?
me.
How is it a bit too much? It's the same trash you were watching the whole time. It's just the logical conclusion.
But yeah, so really heavy fan service. I kind of liked it, kind of, because
You
yeah, it
kind
didn't
of
take itself too
liked it.
seriously.
Oh my god.
Kind of, yeah.
ANCAP. ANCAP, ANCAP, ANCAP. Get Cantor. Well,
Dude,
tell Candor to go to my Discord and join the VC. I'm not gonna fucking like track him down. Go do it yourself. I picked
besides
up.
that, there's just the usual. Not seeing anything.
Anything else you said? I mean, anything else you watch besides In Full?
In full, I don't think so. Oh well, Boku no Hero Academia, but yeah,
No, we don't need to talk about that, and we
yeah,
definitely
you
don't.
don't need to.
We don't need to go over that one.
Yeah, those are the only ones I
And Cap,
finished.
someone asks her if you're a fan of To Love Ru.
Oh, I'm trying to remember that one. Oh, that's the really heavy, like ecchi one. No, no,
The original ecchi harem trash.
nah. Again, I need a little bit of substance.
You're saying
Mao.
Isekai Mao is substance?
It almost had substance because there is a bit of a plot preventing the demon lord and shit. But
What?
it's,
Oh.
yeah, it pretended to have a plot.
So as long as it pretends, ANCAP's fine with complete garbage.
Jeff, I told you the main flaw is that it didn't take enough plot in there. It almost had a structure, but it wasn't directed enough. You could not believe in it.
Oh, no, no. How will I fix ANCAP shit taste? I can't. It's terminal. I'm sorry, Dark Ghost Wind. I can't do it. It made his pee big. Oh, no. People, this is why you can't say you watch these sorts of things, ANCAP.
Dude, Jeff, you're the one who watches blatant Yuri shit. No,
Yuri
you're
shit
one to
is
talk.
patrician and enlightened. This is just garbage. This is like porno. Yuri
Dude,
shit is enlightened, my man.
most anime is about getting your pee big, either indirectly or because you look at those waifus. This is all everything in the end is waifu shit in some extent. You
You're
can't
not
really
wrong.
criticize people.
I mean,
Yeah, you can
well,
criticize.
waifus are sort of now a mechanism to sell material, but a lot of the time they just come secondary to the story.
Yeah, the fan service is something you have to expect and to come with it. You can't really just avoid it. Otherwise, you'd prevent too many anime. You'd strike way too many off the list. Most of it cannot be like
Yeah, I know.
nice
I'm
and
not
clear
like a
shit.
fucking stick in the mud. Like, oh no fan service ever. Well, it's like degenerate to have like hot girls and stuff. No, like that. I don't care about that. But I'm just saying, like don't pretend it's good. Yuri
What
and
about
harems are both trash. Nah, Yuri's lit.
was Hinamatsuri this season or the previous one? Because I
I think
finished that one.
previous season or season before.
Yeah, because I'm just going backwards here on the websites to see.
Oh yeah, you stream your anime because of course, ANCAP would
Yeah,
stream his anime.
yeah, I don't care about the visual quality.
Oh no no. Anime is good if it makes your pee pee hard. I mean, that's sort of the standard the Japanese use, Chow.
Yeah, generally, if a show has the best waifus, the one that make you pee pee the hardest, then it's the most successful. That's how it works in Japan now.
It's not untrue, but there are shows that have just like compelling stories that sell really well because of that. So like Madoka didn't sell because the waifus were cute.
Pretty sure that was a part of it, though.
Oh, I mean, it helped. It helped the merchandising, the sort of the fan works, of course. But if without the story driving it along, no one would have bothered with it. But I wouldn't say anime is dead, Dark Ghost Way. It's just it's in a state where it's very commercialized, and there's not like people like Abe who's making like edgy, like interesting shit like Lane or Textilize. There's none of that going on right now. Like I honestly think like Happy Sugar Life. Stop calling it PP for Christ's sake. I mean that's what chat said. So I was just copying chat impersonating me. I think Happy Sugar Life, if the studio keeps up this quality of work, I think they have a bright future, especially if they do like an original of the same quality. It was really good.
Actually, I do like rewatching anime I watched before with the dub to get a fresh experience.
Uh, what?
When I rewatch anime, I prefer to do it with a dub because I already watched it with a sub once. So then it's like a brand new experience because you see
Like
a different
a brand
interpretation.
new worse experience, but yes.
Yeah, it's not worth it the first time through because you do lose a lot, and lots of times it's not going to be as faithful. But I do think for a rewatch, you should go with a dub.
All right, so Ancap, do you read the subtitles?
Dude, I don't. Do you think I know Japanese that well that I can just see and hear what they mean? Of course, I need subtitles.
No, people are like waving in chat, watching dubs. Ugh, that is pretty disgusting. I don't know, like I go watch like dub for a little bit of one of my favorite anime, and I just like vomit internally, and just like turn it off in disgust. So that's what my reaction of trying to watch a dub of something I've already watched.
Dude, Jeff, you're so freaking cool. I mean, you joining the bandwagon and hating against English dubs.
How is it
Now
joining the bandwagon? I just don't want to listen to the same like seven fuckers in Texas sitting in an audio booth like trying to sound like little girls. It doesn't work. All right.
I'm, I'm just saying because this opinion is the default if you go
It's the
online on
default
the
because it's
forum.
true. Like
Yeah.
it's literally seven retards in Texas who are hired by all these companies, licensed, and they make their voice all squeaky and it's shit, and they're phoning it in, and it's terrible every time.
Dude, Jeff, I
They
know
don't
what's really
hire
bad.
actual fucking actors.
4Kids really fucking sucks, man. Fuck 4Kids. They're ruining anime. They're ruining adaptations, man. Why is 4Kids still around, bro? The joke is that 4Kids died 10 years ago. When did 4Kids die? Let me check. But it's ages, but people still talk about it. Yeah, 2012. So it's been like 6 years ago. And yet, some anime fans talk about it as if it's still around because it's popular to hate on it. It's the cool thing to do.
Well, I mean, it's part of the childhood of remembering 4Kids. Like, well, I mean, 4Kids is stupid because they censored anime in like the goofiest way, and that's why they're remembered. And so it's fun to talk about that. I guess it's not like because people are trying to be cool and edgy. It's just because it's funny seeing them like shop a gun into like a fucking like a spring-loaded shoe gun in like Yu-Gi-Oh and shit. Like that's funny.
So how can I support the English dub if I'm an ANCAP? Or what does that have to do with anything? Again, I do enjoy it in some places. I do think the English dubs have their thing, their role. But I don't see why, if you're an ANCAP, you'd have to hate English dubs. That's a very weird non sequitur, in my opinion. It's mostly One Piece fans who can't let it go. Oh, that is correct, because according to their mythos, 4Kids is the reason why One Piece is not a global phenomenon, but it's mostly localized to Japan.
I think it's because One Piece is like long, drawn out, and boring. Is the reason it's not a phenomenon outside Japan.
But Jeff, didn't you say that you think that One Piece is the best manga of all time, or something like
I
that?
never said that. I said it's the
No, I
most
think.
read manga of all time.
Oh, okay. Because I thought
That
you.
is true. That's the case. It's statistically the most read manga of all time.
Because I did remember I said once that I don't like One Piece very much, and I think you disagreed.
I never disagreed.
Uh,
I never watch any of the shonen shit. It's all garbage.
no, I tried reading some One Piece, and it's really, really overrated. Like I actually have no idea why it's the most popular manga in Japan. It's really not that good, and yeah, I have no idea why people are so obsessed with it.
Like the thing is, like the voice acting industry died. Like by now, the voice acting industry is dead. Like we had good voice actors for video games that were getting imported from Japan and shit, like in other video games back in like the early 2000s. And now that sort of industry's like been cartelled. And now for anime, it's only like this one company that does all the dubs, and they're terrible every time, like every fucking time. Like now you can only get good English voice acting in like video games. Like that's it, and like only some video games.
Oh yeah, so let me complain about a dub, about the Hunter x Hunter one, since this is what I'm watching, because this is another way to rewatch the show. So because currently, no, why? What's wrong? Did you even watch Hunter x Hunter,
Just
Jeff?
continue. Just keep saying stuff. Whatever. Go.
Yeah, I do have I guess one gripe with the translation they made. Jeff, how much do you know the series?
I know there's like a guy who's basically Cell, who like is just Cell, and then there's like they have like tricks, or what he said. No, see that's Boku no Hero Academia. They have like some other fucking weird
They have
quirk thing.
Nen. The Nen is the one.
Oh my rubber Nen. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So in the Cell arc of this one, the Cell is like the king, and he has some royal guards. One of them is a cat girl. I mean, it's very obviously it's just a cat girl. Like she looks like a girl. She has boobs. She has hips. She has a feminine face and everything. She acts like a girl. She looks like a girl. She sounds like a girl.
But she has a
It's very
penis.
obviously a woman. And that's a thing. That's a thing. So it's officially it's unknown. It's a controversial this character's gender, despite it very obviously being a woman. And so in the English dub,
No,
for whatever
NCAP.
reason,
It's a fucking dick girl, right?
yeah, again, some people think so, but like I'm saying, that's a consensus. It's
I know
controversial.
it's your
People aren't
waifu, but
sure.
there's a penis there.
But the thing is, so in the English dub, what they did is that they refer to her as gender ambiguous. Like they don't use a pronoun. Don't use pronouns. Don't say he. Don't say she. So it sounds like ass. They always say, "Oh, Pito does that because Pito's N is nothing like Pito's thing that can be Pito's X's, whatever." It sounds like absolute garbage because they're trying so hard to be PC or canonical, whatever, and they're not using pronouns. The problem is that people in real life don't talk like that. You don't talk about somebody and just avoid all pronouns because they're not sure if you're a guy or a
Leftists do
girl.
that, yeah.
Yeah, but it sounds terrible.
Of
And
course
it's
it
kind of
does.
similar thing. This is another thing that also already happened before, but not in a dub, in a subs, for Hoseki no Kuni or Land of the Lustrous. There too, they decided to go full gender neutral, have no gender pronouns at all, and it sounds terrible. Like the subtitles are almost unreadable at times. And so this is
Yeah,
a
I did
trend.
notice that they didn't. For some reason, they did gender neutral in in the subtitles for no reason, despite the subtitles like clearly saying that they use the male. They when they refer to each other, all the characters in Hoseki no Kuni, they use the male adages, suffixes and such. But they're obviously feminine people, creature things, gem people, and they just happen in speech to use the male adage. So I don't know why that would be a problem. It's just kind of weird that decision they made for the subtitling.
Yeah, most obvious conclusion is that the translators are leftists. They're SJWs, and they want gender neutrality
Yeah,
to
I
be
mean
this big
that's
thing.
obvious. I mean, Crunchyroll subtitled Yojo Senki, and they changed the title to Tanya the Evil, even though that's like nothing to do with the actual title, which is War Chronicle of a Little Girl. So they changed the title completely because you can't have the sort of the German lolly Hitler be good, because that would be evil and anti-Semitic. So they have to change the title. They have to change the title literally. Not even a translation of the title. They just changed the title for English release.
And the thing is, that title, Tanya the Evil, sounds terrible because
Yep.
medieval rulers didn't have titles like that. It sounds wrong. Like the grammar, it just doesn't sound correct. It should be maybe like Tanya the Cruel, like that's a thing. Or Tanya the Righteous, or whatever, but not Tanya the Evil. Like who the fuck would call somebody else the evil? That never happened.
Do you sub to Crunchyroll and Cap?
No, because that costs money. Like, why would I spend money on that
You
if I
watch
don't
on
have to?
you watch on like shitty websites like Kiss Anime.
Not that one because it blocks ad block, and I love my ad block, so I use alternatives instead.
Why don't you just download it for torrents, like fast and high quality?
It's more work, and I don't care about quality. When I do have to download it because it's not available on the sites, I choose SD quality because it downloads the fastest and the lowest storage on my hard drive.
I just always download 720p because everything else is an upscale. But
You know, it's a funny thing because I remember the days when 1080p was the brand new thing on the block. One of the first shows to ever go 1080p was the one with the red hair. Shit, Shakugan no Shana. Yes, that's the one. And I remember downloading like 1080p torrents of Shakugan no Shana. It's in a full high-res resolution, watching a thing and being blown away. Like, holy shit, the resolution, it's so freaking high. Oh my god, I don't care that the show is pretty boring. Look at this action. Look at the image quality. It's so pristine. It was like a brand new world.
mhm.
But nowadays, I don't care. Like, I don't care about 1080p. Like 720p, even 480 looks good enough for me. It's like
480.
gone.
I can't imagine doing it in 480, but 720 is about what the images on the screen are drawn in. So if you just like full screen it, it's going to be about the same quality. You might get just there might be less artifacts a little bit if you download the 1080p, but that's about it.
Shana was hot trash garbage. Yeah, it wasn't very good, but it looked very pretty. And when it was the first thing to get to that high resolution, it did leave an impression. That's the only reason why I still remember it now, is because it looked pretty damn good at 1080p.
What I really wish there was sort of like a market for them to go back for some of the older anime and like get them into really clear cuts, really clear BD remakes. Like I want Gunslinger Girl on like a really clean, easy to read, high def cut, and I want like Lane. I think Lane did get some BD some time ago, but I wish they would go back and do that for some series.
I know Evangelion got some BDs a while back, and they actually lost one of the episodes. So they did like artificially like upscaling using really ugly filters because I forget which episode it was, but they did lose one of it, and it was very awkward and very easily noticeable.
I forgot which one it was, but yeah, that sounds about right.
And I guess it sometimes happens. I guess, and I notice it happens more often with the Japanese game developers. It seems like the Japs, they just don't keep backups of their original content, of their original source files. So whenever they have to make a port or a remake, they only have
the
the
Japanese anime industry is much less centralized than say like Hollywood, where there's just like a bunch of like production companies who have giant vaults full of like films and shit. There's like dozens and dozens of studios of different directors, and like the film's gonna get lost just because of how much these people move around from company to company. So
Ozpin is late.
he's carrying
Ozpin didn't
toast
even.
in his mouth. Yeah, I see. Good use of
Oh,
emotes. And Cap
okay,
had to
that's
be.
what
I
it
had to
meant.
explain the joke to Ancat, but that always happens.
Yeah,
Uh,
because it's bread and mouth. It doesn't necessarily translate to toast.
but he said, "I'm late. I'm late." If you were a true weeb, you would have instantly recognized the meme.
I thought he was
Instantly.
literal. I thought he was late to the stream because he only came in just now. So I thought,
Well, he
oh, he
is, and
was
that's
late
why
to the
he's
stream.
also making an anime reference with toast.
I see a double entendre.
The Jap voice actor industry is pretty corrupt. Lots of sex scandals. Kind of. I mean, I know you're talking about Haruhi, but it's actually pretty. They do sort of have like secret relationships, but they're like they really it's pretty tame and Puritan. Because if any of these girl voice actresses who have the sort of the idol gigs get found out that they sleep around, they lose like so much popularity. They get like all the products get like burnt. Like the people get flamed if they voice acted like something. So like the Japanese otaku are very uptight about it, and that's why like people will have like secret pregnancies and they'll have secret relationships if they have to. I don't. I think you're definitely overestimating because these people do have to live very chaste lives, but I do imagine a lot of them do not uphold. They don't like follow that, and they just go have sex without the fans knowing.
I find it interesting just how associated the voice actors are with the characters in Japanese media. Like, the Japanese fans really care a lot about seiyus, which is pretty unique, because generally, like here in cartoons or animated movies and all that, like let's say in a Disney movie, you don't associate the main princess with her voice actress. People don't like become fans of her and think, oh, that voice actress, she is my waifu now. She is like
Well, I mean,
the woman I
that
worship.
was a more recent thing. Like the voice actresses were always respected in the early days of Chinese cartoons, but the industry sort of figured out, okay, so we can take voice actors and voice actresses, and then we can do like radio shows. We can do like cross promotion events where people will pay and go see them, and just more recently, like late '90s, early 2000s, they really started ramping that up, and now it's just a norm to where if you're a voice actress or a voice actor in anime, you're going to be involved in going to going to go on stage. You're going to talk to the audience who paid for like a ticket to go there. You're going to do radio shows out of character, talking about things to also promote stuff. And they sort of turned it into where the voice actresses and voice actors have their own sort of little entertainment bubble industry, kind of like Hollywood does, but for their voice actor industry. And I don't think it's just not the industry here doesn't see a reason to bother trying to push that because it's sort of a different climate as well.
Yeah, I just found it very interesting because I've never seen it anywhere else, and it's a bit surreal. It's as if the voice actress actually becomes the character from the show. It's like they want it to be real so hard that the fans project, that character onto this real life person. Yeah, it's just very odd, very interesting. That's an observation I
I'll just
made.
get rid of this for now.
Apparently,
Okay.
some people, sex scandals. All celebrities, all big money people have sex scandals because, of course, with actors, because they tend to be attractive and all that shit, and there's lots of money involved. Then, of course, they're gonna have lots of, sexual escapades and so forth. It's called escapism, Wulad. Is crushing on a real person who is like voice acting your online waifu? Is that an escapism? That's a weird sort of like projection, as if you're projecting your 2D reality onto 3D ones. It's very hard to understand.
It's kind of weird, but it's sort of like yeah, they do have like a weird. Yeah, I agree with that. Like there's sort of a weird proximity that you wouldn't really think of the West in here. I can understand like really liking a voice actor or voice actress just because of their personality and the roles they did in combination, but sort of like seeing the character as like intricately timed, like that autist. I forget what the series is called. I did watch the anime, so I feel bad for forgetting the name. Anyone in the chat remember it was the one with like the purple haired girl who was like a goddess and she like sprouted out of like a wheat field or something and it was like harem trash. And then like the
Uh,
voice actress.
the Wheatfield one reminds me of the Wolf Girl.
No, it's not
Spice
Spice and
Wolf.
Wolf. It's not that. It was it was harem trash. So it was just like this like school. It was like this guy and he like started stumbling into like relationships with a bunch of girls and like the main girl. I think it was like Connie Gurry. It's like a K or something. But anyways, like the voice actress who played that girl in the anime had like a scandal or something, and then like the fans of that manga or anime like had like a pile of goods and like autistically burnt it. I forgot Iki Kotsen maybe. Let me Iki Tosen. Let me check.
Yeah, I'll check it too. Because the most famous scandal is over the actual 2D character, stopping
It's
being a
not
pure
Iki
waifu.
Tosen. Wrong one. fuck, I can't remember the name. The main character girl was like purple haired. She was like some sort of like reincarnated goddess. There's like 3 or 4 other harem members, and then like it ended, and like the purple haired girl won. I don't think that's not the one that I'm talking about. Ghostwind. Shit, can't remember the name. Oh, the Kanagi. That's right. Okay, I'll put it on screen. Hold on, get an image for it.
Wait, was it harem trash? Because
Kanagi was harem trash. Yes.
yeah, because I did see the pictures of it. I haven't never watched it myself. I don't know what happens in it. It kind of looks like a slice of life comfy show.
Well, it's a slice of life. Well, it's harem trash. Like all 3 characters are lusting after the main character. Well, let me get the image for you guys. You guys know what I'm talking about. Go. Yeah. All right. So kind of low res, but whatever. Yeah, Kanagi. So the voice actress who did this, the main character Kanagi, I'm pretty sure it was the main character, got into a scandal. Matsu Haruka. And then like people burnt the shit that she was doing.
Now, wasn't it about the main character in the actual show though? Because they're thinking that she had a boyfriend, right? And she was now used goods, and that was the main controversy.
No, I mean I think it was the voice actress. I don't think it was something in the show. I don't remember, but somebody else remembers. I just remember like the autistic image of somebody had like all the manga for Kanagi and like burnt it. And I remember hearing that was because like some scandal from the voice actress. But
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
reading
sure.
now, and yeah, it's because Nagi, the main character in story, had a boyfriend, and thus she may not have been a virgin. That
Oh
was the
yeah,
main
that's right.
alternate.
Actually, you're right. You're right. It wasn't the voice actress. My bad. It was the basically at some later point in the story, the author is like Kanagi's goods, and then that triggered the guy.
And it makes sense
It wasn't the
because
voice actors. My bad. I just usually associate voice actors. Like the Love Live voice actress was found in like pornos and shit. Like the main character of Love Live, and then that like caused a huge ruckus. That was funny. I remember that one.
hmm So there was one about a voice actor, and I did see some threads with the mention like, "Oh, look at this voice actress! Look, she's so small and cute, just like the character she voices." And I'm thinking, why do you care? Like, does it matter how they look? And I guess they do, because I
You
imagine
know
these
what's
days,
why you're not a fan of 2.5D? You don't
2.5D,
don't you know voice actresses are 2.5D?
because like their voice kind of 2D and their bodies are like 3D.
Yeah, that's all the say you fags they say. It's like, oh, look at my 2.5D waifu and shit.
Because 2.5D waifus might be the new VTuber thing, right? Because
Um,
the 3D animated virtual YouTubers.
well, technically the virtual YouTubers are just basically 2D waifus. Have you watched many virtual YouTubers? We can talk
No,
about
I've
that for a little
literally
bit.
I never watched the VTuber video. Maybe I should just to know how it's like.
Never watched any of them? I've watched quite a few. I was following that pretty closely for a while, but then I fell off the bandwagon. It's like grown exponentially. There's so many. Like there's like
So how did
ones
they
I don't even
work?
know. So
Is
it's
just a guy talking?
well, not a guy, but it's a woman. They hire a voice actress, then they set up a rigging system. Let me see if I have any images here of YouTube, virtual YouTuber shit lying around.
Yeah, and 4chan is gonna have their own VTuber. Yeah, this is the future.
Yeah, I used to go hang around on the VTuber threads on JPegs because and follow them closely because there's like drama and that are shit people shit posting about them. Funnily enough, have you watched Yuri Yuri?
No, I haven't watched it, but I do know what it's about and the
All
reputation
right,
it has.
so the main character of Yuri Yuri, Kaguya Luna is cutie. Yeah, it's true. The main character of Yuri Yuri, Akari, the voice actress for her started doing virtual YouTuber shit, but it's like extremely unsuccessful and poorly managed. and people were just like making fun of her and saying how cringy and like terrible it was. It was like really sad. And she was barely getting any views or subscribers. And it was really sad. I don't even know if she's still keeping up with it. Hold on, I guess this image.
And just remember, when it comes to anime news, Kemono Friends Season 2 was announced recently. And once upon a time, Kemono Friends was a pretty big deal. It was really massively popular, a sudden success, liked by everybody, but children, adults, and waifu fags alike. And everybody came together and sung Kumbaya over, Jafari Park and stupid anime girls doing stupid things.
How are you not a VTuber yourself? I am basically a VTuber. I just don't have an actual unique VTube persona tulpa thing. So I wouldn't consider myself a VTuber. If I got one, I guess I technically would be. But since I'm using the default out-of-the-box live 2D dog, I'm not technically a VTuber.
Okay, Jeff, so what did they do in these videos? Did they read out a script? Did they deliver news?
They deliver news, read out scripts. They have little skit comedy. I don't even remember who this is. Like some random fucks who like randomly started out. I have like a screenshot lying around of them. They're not even popular, but they're just emblematic. So they get random girls or voice actresses. They rig them up with either like the shit I have or like an actual 3D rig for full 3D modeling. And then they just like say shit and just have little skit shows and just like make little talk about shit videos or play games. And it's just sort of like, so it's like just a normal YouTuber, but there's a cute girl voicing an anime character instead. And so they have the same variety of content, but it's just that. So instead of like, you're using a face rig like me, basically.
Yeah,
and they build up these personas, and they sometimes have like these like skits and character lore, but usually it's just like a girl with like a 3D model voicing it and like trying to build up this sort of character.
It kind of makes sense. It kind of utilizes the waifu fags. It tries to monetize them and entice them into this interaction. I'm not sure if they even have interactions, but it's the same logic. It's because you want the cute anime girls using the cute voice saying things, and that's why lots of anime sells. And I guess they want to do it into YouTube videos as well, because that's much cheaper and easier. Why animate the entire 12-episode show when you can just use this face rigging thing with the same 3D animation that they have? Yeah, it's much faster, much cheaper, much easier.
Seiyus are fake 2.5D Kigurumi at live shows are true 2.5D. Oh my god. Do you know what Kigurumi are, Antcat? Probably don't. It's
no.
the creepy like the bodysuits with like the creepy masks for like the Precure
those
shows.
Things.
Yeah. They use them like to entertain children for like Precure and stuff. Apparently there's like Kigurumi like fetishists, which are really always like hilarious to me.
It gets much worse. You remember that it's usually guys inside those things. Then it gets really uncomfortable.
No, they usually hire girls actually.
No, I'm thinking of more of the ones you
for Precure, but I mean like for like random mascot characters.
No, I'm thinking the ones that fans make or wear.
The fan made ones. Yeah. But I'm talking about the ones they hire to do little stage shows for children. But yeah, I guess I am technically like half a VTuber, and someone said I should use the PayPig money to commission a VTuber like fucking avatar that's like unique. I don't even know what I want it to be though. I'm not like Donga. I don't have like a OC Donut Steel character that I want to like represent me. So I don't know. I don't know what it would be.
It's kind of interesting, but in a way, it's a logical extension of the phenomenon that female streamers make a lot more money than male ones. So in that same logic, if you want a kind of persona to represent you, you want it to look and act and behave female.
True.
Because that way people,
kind of. But I mean, there are successful VTubers who are male. I'll pull one up here.
Correct.
I have an image.
Sorry, VTubers who are male?
Yeah. Japanese VTubers who use male avatars and are male.
Why did you ban me, Jeff?
Who are you?
Why did you ban me?
Hey,
I'm Bobobo.
Bobo. I didn't ban you. One of my other people banned you because you were saying like weird shit about like fucking kids or something in chat, and people are like, "Wow," and then they ban you.
I did nothing of the sort.
Yeah, you
I
did.
simply posted crows.
No, that was before you posted crows.
No, I simply posted crows.
No, it
What I
was
said
before that.
before I posted crows was, "Can I post some crows?" And then you said, "Yeah, you can post crows." And then I posted crows, and then I
You
got
said
banned.
some other shit later. You were like saying some like
No,
weird,
I have
not
full
edgy shit.
recollection of that entire night. I never once said anything like
Yeah, you
that.
did.
You banned me for posting
I
crows.
didn't ban you. It was my admin banned you.
Okay, well, I didn't see the audit log, so I can't confirm or deny
I
that.
haven't. I literally have banned 0 people off my team on TeamSpeak. The Discord is just been people who get annoyed for whatever reason that people shit posting, and I had to literally write down shit posting laws because of shit posters like yourself.
I don't know. I don't think my shit posting was even like the threshold of the shit posting yet. I didn't even get to crow image like 50. I got to like
I don't want
number
fucking
6.
spam in my Discord. I had to make that clear. So
I
I'm
wasn't even
sorry.
planning on spamming. I was just planning on posting a few fucking crows.
Can you? Well, that's fine. That's dandy and all. I understand you're autistic, but do you have anything to discuss anime wise, or do you just want to whine and voice chat?
I finally watched Darling of the Franks.
Oh, no.
It was complete shit. It started off with a little bit of promise, but it just took a complete nosedive. And like, I remember getting through, I think it was like episode 20 or something. I was like high as fuck in the middle of the night. I legitimately halfway fell asleep through the episode, and when I woke up, fucking 02 was a giant fucking robot. And then I was like, okay, I don't know what the fuck happened. And at this point, they're fighting aliens. I don't know what the fuck happened. This is just shit. I gave up.
No, dude. See, it's too deep for you. You see, did you know? Did you realize that piloting the robots is a metaphor for sex?
Really? You don't say? I would have never picked up on that.
Yeah, you know how they kind of lean over them, the girl's like in a motorcycle position, and the guy looks, he literally has ass handlebars. He grabs them when he pilots the robots. It's so subtle, you can't know. It just goes over people's heads. They don't get it.
Wow. I would have never noticed had you brought that up, and now that you bring that up, like it all makes so much more sense.
That's the thing. It's just too deep.
Yeah,
it's
Darling
too
in the
real.
Franks is literally just Trigger making an Evangelion fan fiction. That's all it is, and it was terrible.
I think it's a way of like exporting Trigger's brand because they didn't animate it, right? They got A1 Pictures to do it, and they gave A1 Pictures a script. They told them, okay, this is our visuals, this is how you write, this is how you do a Trigger show. Go at it, and it worked. It was a massive success. It's a very financially beneficial experiment. That's what I take it as. Because you're right. Overall, it's kind of shit. It's not very good, but it's way better than most. Yeah.
At least the visuals were like a fuck of a lot better than something like fucking Overlord. That shit's just a fucking joke.
Yeah. And ironically, the action was terrible. Like everything else besides the action was far better. And the symbolism was just thick enough for even the biggest retard to notice what the show is about. I mean, you can't argue that no, Donnie Franks totally wasn't about reproduction, bro. It's just giant robots. No, it's very clearly about sex and reproduction. So it
was literally just an Evangelion fan fiction.
Yeah, no, it's Abe's reproductive propaganda. Marry and procreate.
Kind
Shinzo
of,
Abe.
yeah, I guess so.
Jeff, did you actually watch it? Did you finish it?
No, I did not finish Darling in the Franks.
Yeah, if you watch the first few episodes, you kind of get the idea of what it's about. And yeah, the ending is kind of stupid. And it's just a copy of TTGL's ending, Gurren Lagann's ending.
Yeah, that's what I saw. It was just really, really silly.
All right,
They just skipped through like 8 years of just fucking fighting over, just like in a couple seconds. It's like nothing important happened in all of these years. We're just gonna skip it.
Animation is shit, but unlike the 90s, there was no push or drive to write good story.
Well,
I don't know.
it's not really push or drive. It's just the quality of writers. Like there were more writers in the '90s and '80s that were quality. Like Anno, despite being like a cynical hack fraud, is a good writer. Like Abe is a good writer. There just aren't that many now. That's all. Like Okada
Jeff,
is not Mari Okada is not a good writer. She's entertaining, not a good writer though.
Jeff, are you referring to Shinzo Abe, or is that a joke?
No, I'm not referring to I'm referring to the other Abe, the one who died. I think
Oh, okay.
who made Lane and shit. Or was it Abe who died, or the other guy who died? I forget. I think it was the director who died, not Abe. I think Abe might still be alive. Let me check.
Is he dead? Is he alive?
Have
Find
you
out
watched
next
any
time on-
virtual YouTubers, Bobobo? Or is that like too weeb for you?
I don't think so.
Like Kaguya Luna and whatever her name is, iChannel.
It's too far down the rabbit hole for
Too
me.
far down
I
the rabbit hole.
suppose.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Oh, Laplace is asking about Kobayashi. I'm assuming he means Kobayashi's Maid Dragon. The big KyoAni
Who
show.
cares about that garbage?
But dude,
I watched it until like I managed to force my way up through like episode 5, and then I was like, okay, now all the characters are there. Now, okay, I give up.
But Jeff, it's Yuri. I thought you liked Enlightened Yuri.
Well, it's Yuri, but it's bad. It's
That's
like
the one thing I
trashy.
liked about it. Is because it's subversive, kind of. Because
Subversive?
it's
What are
basically
you
like
talking
a.
about?
It's kind of like a trashy, kind of romance show. Basically, a guy, and a magical girl.
It's subversive the same way like modern art is subversive when they just literally take a shit on a piece of cardboard and call it art.
It's more like it's a gender reversed, or basically a female version or Yuri version of the magical girlfriend trashy show. Because normally the main character Kobayashi would be just a guy, and this magical dragon girl would hop in and just be his girlfriend. But here,
All right, that's
dude,
right. Okay, so Abe, the person who drew the manga and did the story for Lane, is alive, but Nakamura, the person who directed it, is dead, and that's why the project that Abe wanted to do after that kind of got put on hold.
Yeah, but for Maid Dragon, one thing it subverted is that it was very obviously sexual since the beginning. Because, the maid goes that, oh, I like you. Then she goes, what, you like me as a person? And goes, no, I want to fuck you. And, oh, I like that. It was kind of original. Like, it has some... It was kind of original, yeah. Not very many shows do that. The main girl says, yes, I want to fuck you really bad. Please fuck me right now. Maybe some really, really trashy, like, ecchi shit.
So all I'm getting from you, Ancap, is you like trashy, ecchi shit. You watch Isekai Mao and fucking Full. Like you watch the whole thing, not even ironically. Like
no, I almost watched the whole thing.
You almost watched the whole thing. What do you mean almost?
I told you, I dropped it around like the final few episodes because it got too ecchi.
Too ecchi for you? You're like, oh no, it's too lewd. Yeah, it was Nakamura who died, not Abe.
Oh, like, dude, you're watching something is specifically meant to be lewd, and then you're surprised when it gets lewd. Like, what's even the point?
Because it's not just about that. Because it did have another
just
draw.
about that, Ancap?
Because read the synopsis. It's about the main dude reincarnating in a fantasy world where he's a demon king and has to stop the rise of some other demon king. It pretends to have a plot.
But literally within like 40 minutes of the airtime of the whole show, the guy is like fucking slave girls, and it's just like garbage. But you're like, okay, this is great. Let's continue watching this.
Chad is mentioning Kimi no Wa. Is that Your Name, the movie? I think that is, right?
Yeah, it's Your Name.
It's really overrated. I mean, it's a decent movie. Like especially if you're a casual anime fan, you probably really like it. Because you've probably never seen a body swap story before.
Whoa, Your Name.
Yeah, and what was her name? Do you still remember her name? But it's a very good example of forced drama. Like near the end of the movie, it's literally forced drama. There's drama near the end, crisis, for no story-related reason. It doesn't make any sense at all. There's drama at the end because, dude, we need drama right now because I want it. I want to have drama. Doesn't matter what the story says, the setup, the plot, and all that. No, you guys need to be angsty and dramatic and lose your memories for no reason because I want you to angst. It's literally forced drama.
Did it subvert your expectations, though?
A little bit, but not really. Try to remember. There were some moments which were pretty original, but I kind of forget now.
Shinkai is a hack and you all have autism. I don't want to hear that from you, Dark Ghost Wind. So any other anime you watched, Bobo?
Did you see
that was what we were talking about.
Latest episode of Steins Gate Zero?
No, I don't. I didn't watch Steins Gate Zero. I think ANCAP. Did you watch it in full or no?
Not in full, no.
ANCAP dropped it.
Bro, fucking episode 23, absolutely pure Kino. Listen, I know Steins Gate Zero, it's a lot of just fucking emo, fucking Okabe, just fucking moping around being a bitch. Last few episodes, that completely changes. Fucking pure fucking Kino shit. He goes back to like 1800 BC. Kino fucking Minecraft drama type shit, you know what I'm saying?
Jeremy Carroll, I'd recommend Hyoge Mano if you want an anime to convince you that anime can be good for like serious fucking Western people or whatever.
Let me see that one. Let's see.
It's probably too patrician for you and Cap.
Dude, are you sure that's normie shit? It doesn't look very normie shit to me.
It's not normie shit, but it's like serious and well done. So I think anyone who likes film or anything like that will like it. So
depends on what you like. I think Kaiji is a very good anime. It's very different from most other ones.
I think most normies would actually enjoy Hyoge Mano just because it's done very realistically. It's not anime easy at all, but it's still Japanese and distinct and interesting in that way. It's one of my favorites, and one of the most high quality animes made. Hyoge Mano. Yeah.
All right.
What, ANCAP?
I think I discussed like all the anime I wanted to, and I did just want to go eat.
All right, get out of here.
All right, I'm gonna go. Goodbye.
Go enjoy your Isekai.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck off, nigga.
Got him. Already left. We get rid of his little picture. Okay. All right, Bobo. Well, we were talking before you hopped in. We were talking about virtual YouTubers. I think I'd rather have somebody who like actually has watched some of them to discuss that.
Yeah.
Or maybe do my own video on that later. There's more information because most people don't know too much about it.
Yeah.
You seem to be a flavor of the month guy, so you watch like normie shit like Steins Gate and Darling in the Franxx. Any non-normie shit you've watched?
I've just been watching a bunch of shit the last couple days. Like, I haven't really watched much anime before that.
I've not been streaming 7 hours, Geeker. I think that's a bug.
I haven't had shit to do, so I've just been sitting around watching whatever the fuck.
Nice. Garden of Words. I think. Hold on. I don't think I have watched it. I think there's a Japanese name for that. I don't know. Oh, Kotonoha no Niwa, the movie? I've never watched that yet. I'm not really a big fan of like anime movies. I more watch it for the good serialized content. Like there's not too many anime movies I'm like, oh, I'm like a huge fan of. They're kind of on par like with normal film, because then the reason why anime is interesting, at least I personally think so, is because you get like all these different fantasy and sci-fi and like romance and comedy and slice of life stories that you would be really hard pressed to do live action. Like it would be really expensive to do these stories live action because they're fantastical and they use all these different elements, and like the CGI would be really expensive. So you get to see all these different stories animated and acted out that you would normally not see in a serialized long format. And that's why I like anime, because it has like this huge variety of stories that you would not see on television just because it would be impractical and nobody would make that. The girl I was trying to fuck got me into it. It was sort of pretty. All right, Jeremy. Subversive art doesn't always equal bad art. We often hyper-focus on shit art, but bad artists are usually forgotten or remembered for being shit. That's true. You thought it was only going to be Jeff and ANCAP? Well, I did open a slot in case anybody wanted to chime in about anime, and Bobo came and cried because he couldn't spam his crows. But we're now discussing anime. So, drop some titles, Bobo. What did you watch?
I also watched ReZero.
Suck me. Anime boomers.
Who joined? Dark Ghostwind?
Yeah.
Mike, fucking ear rape Mike, Dark Ghostwind. Come on.
I started watching Fist of the North Star. I only got
That's
to
a
like
good one.
episode 6 so far, though.
It is pretty long. What did you watch all of ReZero? What do you think of it?
It was all right. I mean, I went in there not expecting much, and I mean, just the idea that he can die and like he experiences all the fucking pain of fucking dying and getting his fucking guts ripped out and shit over and over again, seeing everyone that he cares about just repeatedly die. Like that's the kind of interesting plot point, and it kind of carries the show.
Sure, yeah, that's kind of what most people like connect with when they watch it. But I've seen that been done before in a number of stories.
Yeah.
Better than ReZero. So when I came to watch ReZero, I'm just like, whatever, because and the character was such like an insufferable little shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he's such a terrible fucking character. I'm glad that like every time he got fucked over, like it was so fucking great.
Yeah,
He's such a terribly written character. Why would you have a guy that's a neat, but is also somehow a Chad?
The thing is,
it's a charismatic.
it's
Chad
amazing because it goes out of the way to make its main character, like, it makes you want him to die. Like, it'll get to a point in the episode and you're just like, just kill this motherfucker already. I want to see him die.
Normal fags love this fucking show. I have no idea why. Okay. Yeah, normal fags love this show for some reason. It's fucking ridiculous. I had a fucking discussion with this one fucking Zoomer, and he was going on about how it's the greatest anime of all time, and I said no, it's probably almost as bad as SAO, if not worse. And then he fucking lost his shit. He was like, "Oh, no, you're just judging everyone. You're being too harsh with people. And taste is subjective. Yeah, you have to fit that in somewhere."
Dark, you just show it our viewers if your voice.
Oof.
Sorry.
Oof.
Shit.
They're continuing. They're plummeting. They can't stand it. Your mic is pretty bad.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, so you liked it, but you didn't think it was like amazing or anything, Bobo. You seem to be going through all the normie anime. What do you think is like the weirdest thing you went and watched?
Fuck, man. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Not sure at all.
All right, anything else you want to talk about, Bobo? Like politics, any shit? We can just sort of impromptu Anon of the week, I guess. You could be the Anon, technically speaking. I could like rename the stream. That would be kind of weird.
I'm just smoking another fucking bowl.
Fucking degenerate.
Fuck, dude.
Degenerate's like you belong on a cross.
Fuck, dude. Fallout 76 is gonna be absolute shit.
I know,
but I don't really
sucks.
think that needs to be said.
Why did they do that?
I think at this point, everyone knows it's just gonna be shit.
I mean,
They did it because it's Bethesda. Of course, they were going to do this. Like, why would anyone never believe that Bethesda would just go and do that?
I mean, well, we had hope, right? Like, we had hope that that the people in charge would just be like a little lackadaisical. They wouldn't be like all overprotective and care and like try to cater to the casuals. Like it'd be a fun experience for people who actually play video games. But of course, they subverted that expectation, and they're just like, oh, if you kill people, you'll appear as a bounty on the map, and then people can kill you and take all your stuff. It defeats the entire purpose of like being a wasteland and having like this sort of adversarial multiplayer thing.
Yeah.
Like the whole.
I think it's gonna be completely fucked, but the one promising thing that it might possibly have are the modded multiplayer servers. Because if you can completely
mod it,
change the game into something else, then really you have like just limitless potential for what people.
But that's the
can
thing, right? Because they said they were going to have dedicated servers, which is probably means like no modding. And if it means no modding, then it's going to be complete shit because it's a Bethesda game with no modding.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but they like destroyed the entire like core motivation for playing the game, which is to grief other people while they're questing, in like a PvP bandit fashion. And they just said, "Oh, well, if you do that, you're gonna appear on the map, and you're gonna be like a evil red dot, and everyone's gonna kill you."
Oh, is it fixed, by the way?
If there
it's a little
isn't,
better, but not really.
If there aren't modded servers, which if this game's going to be in any way salvageable at all, it would have to have modded servers. If it doesn't, then I'm sorry, but it's just going to be it's just going to be dead on arrival. Because if you have modded servers, you could easily just get rid of that fucking wanted murderer status. You could. They already made mods for Fallout 4 to add back in the perk shit and the stats and skills. I'm sure it would not be that much difficult to port that mod over to Fallout 76.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if they actually
It's
allowed
just
modifying
the
servers,
UI.
the game would be great. But that's sort of the problem, is that game companies, kind of echoing Darko's when you get out of here for a sec. You want to hear my feedback? Thanks. All right. The problem of game companies these days is they don't support modding at all. So they just make a game, they put a bunch of shit behind DLC, they give no modding tools, and then the game dies and they release a sequel. And then people buy that game. So they've realized that if they try to make like one game last a long time, it's not as profitable. But the problem is, it actually is as profitable, if not more. Because if you look at like games like Arma 2 and Half-Life 2, people bought those not because of the main game. They bought them to play mods that all their friends are playing. Everyone was playing the DayZ mods, so people picked up Arma 2. They didn't care about Arma. They never wanted to play like fucking janky milsim Arma 2. They wanted to play the mods. People downloaded Warband, Mountain Blade, because there's like so many good mods for it, and so on and so forth. So mods, instead of making sequels, if you actually give mod support, people will buy your game like for a very long time. But these companies, like, they're so stupid and short-sighted that they don't give mod support anymore.
Yeah. It just goes right back to the fucking producers.
Yeah.
Like the producers don't actually understand what makes a good game at all, and or what it takes.
Well,
to
that's the thing.
make
They don't bother making good games anymore. Because so you could sell a bunch to the console peasants, and that works. And all you got to do is have like a hype trailer for E3 or like on television, and people are like, oh my god, that game I'm so hyped for this game. I'm hyped, bro. And you just gotta like pretend to have like all these features and like play them up, and then the game can be shit.
It's in-engine footage.
Yeah, like the Ubisoft in-engine footage and all that, and other stuff like that, and just like No Man's Sky, where they say, oh, you gotta like procedurally generate anything. You could do anything. You could have multiplayer. It's like 1,000,000 stars. What happened to ANCAP? He went to eat dinner after he got finished talking about his trashy anime taste. Yeah, but
Nope.
what was I gonna say? It's more of a marketing fucking device than it is a game anymore. Like, it's just a marketing ad. It's a marketing campaign. Like, the money you make now is just a fucking marketing campaign. Doesn't matter like how good the game is.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2 downscales? What are you talking about, LaFloss?
From the original E3 trailers.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
The one of them was so fucking horrendous. They had, like, in the trailer, there was like a big ass dragon skeleton by these stairs, and then in the actual game, it just wasn't there. It was just a big empty room.
Yeah. They just fucking they put the PC on max. They crank up everything to 11. They put in some cool shit that's not gonna be in the game. I mean, it's been true for years now, though. Like, so, like the Halo 2 E3 demo had like this whole the whole section in the early game in Mombasa. They had like all this extra shit with it, and then when the game actually came out, it was like much shorter and different.
Yep.
They added the dragon later. Dark Souls 2 is 8 out of 10. Y'all are the first in. Well, people give Dark Souls 2 a lot of shit, but I kind of like it because it's like the most hardcore Dark Souls game, right?
I mean, I'm gonna have to disagree. Dark Souls 2 isn't like the most hardcore Dark Souls game. They give you healing fucking crystals and shit out the fucking ass.
I mean, you're not wrong,
Like,
but I'm saying like
ever without a healing item, then well, you just were a complete retard.
it's true, but the Dark Souls 2 has the soul memory system, and so the soul memory system forces you to get good. Otherwise, your PvP experience will get shit on. And so, like, it actually gives you consequences for being a shitter, and like, it will punish your character into the ground. You'll if you're a complete shitter, you'll be like soul level like whatever, and like you'll have to like keep leveling up to get through the game barely, and you're just gonna get shit on because like you've had so many souls and died so many times by like actual people who've leveled up perfectly. The rewards skill, and if like you can actually have your save like get to such a point where you have to play without PvP enabled because you've like scrubbed out too much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That was a good addition to the Dark Souls PvP.
Sure, yeah.
But the PvE in Dark Souls 2 and the entire environment design, it was the worst. It was the weakest of the entire series.
I think I would agree. Yeah, you're right. Like the
And
bosses,
what makes
and
Dark
environments
Souls
in 1 and 3 are better.
Yeah, what makes Dark Souls 1 really good is largely its fucking map, which fucking twists like around and it has all these weird different circles and shit.
But the Dark Souls 1 map's actually really small.
It is. It's really small, but the way that you can like walk in one direction and then end up like at the bottom of the planet, but you can see the other place from where you can get to. I'm really high. I can't explain this properly, but the map is what makes the game.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Good.
The map was so like connected, and it felt really natural going from place to place, and people really loved that about Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, in Dark Souls 2, like
you'll go in a tunnel and you'll be in like a different dimension.
Yeah, there's some pretty good level design. I'm not gonna lie, in some parts of it, but most of the environments you go to are just empty square rooms.
All right, let me add to the title here. Plus Anon of the Week, episode 21. All right, so then we have both things in one stream. I guess. I mean, it's kind of messy. It's kind of unprofessional, but whatever. That's fine. So, Bo, I take you for more. You're a Lamau weed dude, but are you more interested in like political shit posting than you are anime or media?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'll shit post on poll frequently. I don't. I mean, I do streams, and a lot of the time it'll be a couple retards arguing about some political shit.
While you play video games, what are you, Andy Worski?
That would be a pretty apt comparison. Sometimes I don't even play video games. I just put a bunch of thinking emojis
Bunch of
on
thinking
the
emoji gifs and shit.
yeah, and apparently, like I might get 3 or 4 viewers at a time, but for some god forsaken reason, 100 people have watched one of my videos, a couple of my videos.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, as long as you make content and you consistently make content, I know it's terrible coming from me, who's been very fairly inconsistent lately. Like, people will watch it because it's just like their new television, right? Like, they just want thing to watch that appeals to their hugbox mentality or whatever it is, whatever their frame of mind is. They want something that appeals to it, and they want some sort of like amount of content that does. So even if
Like
it's complete garbage, people will watch it.
I don't think you understand, my dude. Fucking
Yeah.
the other night, I got so fucked up on my fucking stream that I was fucking throwing up, and then that was after I was taking gas mask rips.
Gas
And
mask
I'd
rips.
been taking shots of 151 every time someone
It sounds
posted
like
one in the
you need to
chat.
stream with Edgy Boy J.
Yeah, dude. That was the biggest mistake I made. Was I said if anyone posts one in the chat, I'll take a shot of 151. So
that sounds
people
like a
started
terrible
spamming
idea.
one. No, people heard me in the Discord chat saying that, and they immediately went to my stream and started spamming one.
That's why you don't say those sorts of things.
So
You gotta have restraint.
I managed to take a few shots, and I put my gas mask on and take a few rips, and I started coughing, and then I took one more shot, and then I just fucking threw up. Fucking,
I mean, yep.
I was throwing up really loud, and fucking fucking Pap was in there, and he just couldn't fucking stand it. He's got like a really weak stomach, and he was like, "Please stop, please stop."
That's funny. But you sound a lot like Edgy Boy. He just like gets drunk and does stupid shit on stream.
I
You
fucking
guys should
guess.
be made fun. You're made for each other.
If he wants on the shit show, he can be on the shit show. Anyone
Yeah,
can
he
be on
just
the shit show.
drinks and smokes all day. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Edgy Boy
I
quit
mean,
drugs? Are you for serious, ABC Def? That's not true. That ain't true.
oof.
Bloodborne is the best game ever made. He's Leo cult now. Come on, just because you like Leo talked to him that one time, you think he's gonna be just like turned and he's done? Nah, he only smokes weed now. Oh yeah, the devil's lettuce is all he does. I get it. He doesn't drink or snort meth. Okay, maybe that makes sense.
Oh, he doesn't snort meth? What is he, a fucking casual?
Yeah, I guess. Edgy Boy needs to go on. What, on this right now? I don't know. I don't think he's here. I think he went to bed. He said we were providing him Ambien by talking about anime earlier. Yeah. So like, tab me with some of your spicy opinions, Boba.
The Jews did 9/11.
Oh, okay, that's agreeable enough.
Let me think. We should nuke Croatia.
Why?
Because that's where Director lives.
I remember Director. What is that guy up to?
Well, you see, first to start things off, he burned down my castle in Minecraft.
Okay.
No, you don't understand. It was because he was in an argument with my other friend Boney Tony, and he kept calling Boney Tony low IQ and a brainlet. So Boney Tony went and burned Director's house down. So Director
That
like
happens. That's happened before when I play Minecraft with friends.
yeah, he assumed it was me for some reason, and he burned my castle down. So I told him that I was going to grief his shit.
Boney Tony false flagged you, is what you're saying?
No, Boney Tony like admitted to it. He was very open about the fact that he was doing it. He was telling Director about how he was going to do it while he was doing it.
Nice.
But so I told Director that I was going to burn his shit down. I wasn't gonna go out of my way to burn his shit down, but if I like happened to come across his shit while I was just like out in the woods or something, I would burn it down. So he decided on the Nick server to just build a fucking castle like way the fuck away. It wasn't even a castle. I come to find out it was just a really like shitty little complex with like one building built into the side of a hill and a little flattened off area with gates around it. Because he was so terrified that I was gonna come and burn his shit down. He split the Minecraft server. Like he actually got a copy of the server from fucking satellite, and then he started a server on his own fucking private network on that exact map.
So he could build in peace without being shown.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like some Minecraft autism. Yeah. Director didn't know the secret of like hiding all your shit with like hidden fucking networks of things and stuff.
Yeah, no, he had built his shit so far away that I was never going to find it anyway.
Yeah.
Like it was so like autistically far away.
Like he had like auto walk on for like 2 days or something autistically far away.
Not that far away. It was out at like 7,000 negative 1,300.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind Minecraft, but like I honestly have no desire to play it, even though my chat has been constantly agitating for me to play Minecraft. I don't know why. Like I'm not like a Minecraft player. Like basically when I play Minecraft, I start the game, I collect some shit, I like speed run to get like some like decent tools, and then I build like one house and I make it all comfy, and then I quit the game, never play again. And that's
Listen, you got to play it multiplayer, and then you got to like set out to build something fucking huge.
well yeah,
Like,
but here's the
usually
thing.
I set out to build a giant fucking castle, and by the time I get that giant fucking castle built, I usually decide to build a village around the castle. And by the time the village is done, you might go through, add some fucking details, add some roads that leave the village, and then just plot a road off in a different direction to start building a different village.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I did that a few times. Like, I played multiplayer with a few of my friends on Minecraft. We had a little server, and I was like building a road system from all our houses to one another. I would just have like little like torches lighting the road. It would be all nice and like furnished with like wood and little rest stops and stuff. I had like chests full of stuff. I did that, and then like once my space was comfy enough, I just like never logged on again. Like once I reach peak comfiness, like I stop.
Yeah, dude, I had a strip club with 3 floors and a hot tub with the giant glowing swastika at
Talk
the bottom
about
of it.
Bumbles. All right, Ski, I will. So there was this one guy, Bumblebees, who used to be in our gaming community. He was a bit of an autist. He would randomly shout things like Allahu Akbar and start singing the nasheeds in chat, and that's fine. People thought it was funny for a while. And then, like, whenever we played our game, he'd always ask for wall hacks. And so, like, we gave him wall hacks, but he was, like, really bad without them. And so we always made fun of him because he couldn't aim without wall hacks. And even with wall hacks, he couldn't aim. So, like, we would always bully him about shit. And then one day, like, he started talking about, like, an infection he got on his penis. And then we started, like, saying he had a salami dick and stuff. And then he got, like, super triggered at that. Like, salami dick was, like, a road too far. He thought, like, we're all, like, super bullies. And that, like, we're, like, toxic, evil people for making fun of his salami dick. And then he, like, later, like, leaves the TeamSpeak for a while. And then later he comes back and, he has his girlfriend. So he has like this weird girlfriend who's like has rats and shit, and she has like pet rats. She's like the weird like purple hair, tons of piercings kind of girl, and she like sticks the rat in her vagina and shit. It's like really weird. But he's bringing this person around our place, and then he like starts blog posting and crying about his like credit card troubles. He's like a trust fund baby. He has like millions of dollars or something from like a trust fund inheritance, and he's like crying about like debt, credit card debt he's not paying. And I just like chew him out in front of his GF, and he like leaves TeamSpeak, never comes back until like PUBG comes out, and he like comes back and wants to play PUBG. But a funny guy. He like flies planes, and like is like really set on flying planes, and tells us all the time about how he flies planes. Kind of interesting guy.
So does he have airplane autism?
Does he have airplane autism? I don't know. He flies planes. He like brags about it all the time. It's like central to his identity. It's pretty funny.
Does he have like a giant like painting of a plane in his house?
I don't know about that. He is a photographer as well, so
He probably has a bunch of pictures of planes. That's a fact. He has
maybe. He calls himself a maverick. Like unironically, he'll say, "I'm a maverick. I fly planes. I drive motorcycles."
I mean, no, you just told me that he calls himself a photographer, and he has he
He has
flies
a pilot's
planes.
license. Yes.
And he's obsessed with planes. He's gonna have a bunch of pictures of his planes. I guarantee you his motorcycle too.
Oh, he has a ton of those pictures. Yeah, well, yeah, that exactly, Chow. This guy, we basically, when I heard about the Sky King story, I'm like, oh shit, Bumble. But but it turned out not to be him. And like the guy in the Sky King actually sounds exactly like him too. It's really uncanny. But it wasn't him, sadly. Logan Paul, look it up. Oh, you meant how he got showed from our Minecraft servers? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right, Ski. So we had our own Minecraft servers, and we were building our peaceful, like, interconnected villages. And Bumbles, like, we got bored and like, was like, oh, I don't want to play no more. And then he started burning, like, everyone's shit. And then eventually he got banned. So we could actually play the game. Because he would just, like, he wouldn't even build anything. It was, like, okay if you want to start, like, a war with somebody. But don't just, like, burn everyone's stuff. It's, like, pointless. Like,
what?
He would just repeatedly do that all the time, and then we just had to get rid of him.
Yeah,
Breaking
no,
our
if someone's
Minecraft immersion.
burning everything down, then like they're just there to burn shit down. You might as well just kick them.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we had feuds and stuff, but you don't want to. He was just going around every house and burning it, and then we had to get rid of him.
Yeah.
People even talking about chat. Oh, I have live chat on. Wait, never mind. I have top chat. Yay, Anon the week. Technically, yeah, we kind of transitioned into it naturally, so might as well make this the episode.
I mean, TBH, you have to admit it was everyone else's fault for not murdering him after he burned the first thing down.
Well, it's not like we had permadeath on or anything like that, so he just would respawn, get some flint, keep going around. He was just on a mission, an autistic mission.
You can find him before he can get a flint and steel it from the spawn.
Yeah, we didn't have any mods that allowed
If
like
you know where the spawn
jailing and
is.
shit. If we did, it wouldn't have been an issue.
I mean,
we had a good
if
amount
you
of mods.
know where the spawn is, then you could build like a jail around it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he respawns in there, he'll be trapped unless
Oh
someone
yeah,
lets
he
him
also
out.
would like after we got off, he would log on after everyone was off, and then like break shit, and then like leave like insulting little signs to try to like frame other people. He was real try hard about it.
Imagine being that autistic that you have nothing better to do than to log into a Minecraft server.
Yeah, like 7 people played on basically. It's about like not even that wasn't even like a 100-person Minecraft server. It's about a 7-person Minecraft server. But I guess that makes it better for that person. I don't know.
But like, just go in there and just burn their shit down. I mean, you really don't have anything better to do. You're that bored.
I mean, that's true.
amazing.
But playing Minecraft is also one of those that bored moments. I gotta say, like actually playing Minecraft. I would say griefing in Minecraft and
I've
playing
always
Minecraft
thought
are
Minecraft
not
was
too far from each other.
really. I always thought Minecraft was like pretty fucking comfy.
Yeah, it kind of is. But the problem is there's just like not enough like inner content. You know?
I mean, I don't know. It just seems to jive like perfectly with my autism, and I could sit there and just start building shit and not stop.
Yeah, I get that. Like it's a therapeutic, especially for like using drugs and shit. But I'm not like I don't do that shit. Don't really need it. So, have you ever played the puzzle game? Like, do you play much puzzle games like Luminous or
No,
Tetris
I don't
Extreme?
play much puzzle
If
games.
you really want to like relax and zen out, I recommend like those sorts of games. Like a more modern puzzle game. Like I think it's called Luminous or Luminex, something like that, and then Tetris. Those are pretty like the new Tetris one that has like the rhythmic shit, and then there's just like a bunch of like chill, like trippy puzzle games that are really good to chill out to. I think.
I don't know. I mean, for me, you really can't get much more comfy than either like Fallout New Vegas or fucking Stalker.
Stalker is comfy. I don't know. Stalker is too spooky to me. Like like the Bloodsuckers. Come on.
Dude, like it's not that spooky. It's you're just in the zone. You just gotta go unleash your inner cheeky breeky.
Unleash the cheeky breeky.
Yeah, then you will understand how comfy it is.
Interesting. I mean, I agree. Like it is comfy hanging around the fire and Stalker, or just like going through the nature and hearing all the nature sounds and the zone and all that stuff. It's extremely atmospheric and thus comfy. But I always like there's so many enemies in that game. They're just like super fucking deadly and like really hard to deal with. Like the fucking telekinesis guys. I hate those. Those little fuckers are really annoying.
Yeah.
And then the bloodsuckers as well if they group up on you.
I mean, that's part of what makes the comfy parts comfy is that there's a lot of very like just in your face shit that comes
my
at you.
doggo's crying. Oh no. I probably got to go back out. Well, I guess I don't want to stream. We'll go 12 more minutes, and I gotta go like take care of my dog.
Fuck it. I ain't got anything I specifically want to talk about. I don't give a fuck about it into the stream here.
Sure. Okay. That's fine. Feels bad. I didn't want to cut it short. How about Like, what's the name of your stream, Bobo?
It's the shit stream.
Shit stream.
Or
It
it's a
sounds a
shit
lot
show.
like Anal Vape stream.
Yeah, I stole the name from Anal Vape. It's the shit show. It's on the Gian Scum YouTube channel.
The shit show. It's
Yes.
the spiritual successor to the Anal Vape show. It also gets 4 viewers. It also gets like 100 views.
On a couple of them.
What is Anal Vape up to, anyways?
He came in to the Chick-fil-A server earlier, and as soon as he came in, I knew he was gonna talk about something retarded. So I left, and when I left, the voice chat was pretty active. But when I came back, because I had this token that gave me a free Big Mac, so I figured, you know what, I'm gonna go get a free Big Mac. So I go there, and apparently they had like BOGO Big Macs, and I give the fucking bitch the token for the free Big Mac, and she gives me 2 Big Macs for fucking free. So I get back with 2 free Big Macs, and fucking Anal Vape's gone. The entire voice chat.
Oh, that was phone posting, by the way. I muted him.
I asked what had happened, and apparently Anal Vape came in and started talking about fucking rap music, and then everyone just fucking left.
Alright, my dog is like losing his shit. Alright. Thanks for stopping by. Kind of a tiny little Anon of the Week episode tagged on to the end of what was an anime review stream. But it was an Anon. It was the week has passed. It was another interview. We talked about some interesting stuff. I think it counts, kind of. I mean, it's about the same length as Constantine episode. So it counts, right? Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Got him. Just the same as Constantine's episode. All right, thanks for tuning in. And my dog is like losing shit. All right, see ya.